Hey girl, hey.
Hey, boo.
How are you?
Hey, girl.
Hey.
We just gonna
We
skip
here.
on along.
Right. What you do this weekend?
Nothing. Um, yeah, I had to run some errands,
Mm.
but I didn't do anything this weekend. It's, I'm about to start doing shit though. Like, I don't know, I'm about to just start risking it like everybody else because why am I the only person that's sitting in the house and just looking stupid? Everybody, hmm?
I was gonna say I'm still here. I'm in the house looking
Yeah,
stupid.
but everybody else is just I see so many people that going out, they're hanging out with their friends, I see so many vacations happening. And it's like for
Yeah.
the past year, with the exception of a handful of times, I've been in the house. And while I'm in my new home and I love it so
It's
much,
Liddy. Mhm.
I just want to go outside. I'm going outside. I'm going outside. Then I'm going outside.
Mm. I didn't do anything this weekend. My daughter, she had cheer practice. So that was Saturday. Yeah. And
And you
that's
can't
about
even
it.
go in there and watch them during practice because of
Sit in a
COVID.
car or sometimes on the really, really long practices, like when they don't have virtual cheer competitions. Their practices, because she's on two teams, is 4 hours long. And I'm not gonna sit in my car that long. So I usually go to my best friend's house if she'll have me. And she's been having me the times that I ask. So I'm just like, thank you, Jesus. I'll go in the basement if need be. But yeah, I just been kind of going over there, and that's like my getaway. Like that's literally my oh yeah, I went somewhere. I went to my best friend's house and that's it. Like I ain't been going nowhere. But you niggas this weekend in Atlanta though.
You talk. It's funny you talk about Atlanta. I looked at how long it would take me to drive there, like because I don't feel comfortable just getting on a plane yet. But like
Right.
I'm about to just start driving, and Atlanta is fully open, and Atlanta's like 8 hours away, and that's I got it. I'm going to
Look,
Atlanta.
let me tell you something. I heard you niggas went to Atlanta and acted a plum fool like regular all-star weekend. Like I mean, clubs was packed, the scammers were out, niggas was breaking into cars. Like y'all had a grand old time, a good COVID time, and
I'm not mad at them. They are living their lives, living.
okay, we'll see how they feel in about a week or two, and if they're still living their best lives, they're gonna be clinging on. But it's a lot. If you wasn't in the goddamn bubble and y'all was just out at the clubs, like I don't know.
I'm not saying I want to go to a club necessarily, but I just want to go to whatever is available. So if it's only a
You know what's
club,
available? Texas. That's available.
well,
They're
Texas is
fully fucking
trash.
open. I mean, they're fully fucking open. Like they just was like the floodgates are fucking open. Like, come on
I
in. Fuck
I never
masks.
wanted
Fuck
to
social
go to
distancing.
Texas though.
We're like, fuck this shit. Like, hey, you want to go somewhere, Shay? We the place that you need to go. No restrictions. Come on in this bitch.
No, you know, Texas almost got me because they got them damn mansions that are like 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only time that I ever been like, Texas. But outside of that, they racist. Outside of like them,
Fuck.
the cities we hear of like Houston or something like that.
Right.
I'm good off
Them
Texas
outskirts with them white joints.
because I heard that with them being fully open, there was a Mexican restaurant that still was implementing wearing masks.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the non-melanated people went in there and threatened to call ICE if they wouldn't let them come in there without a mask. The audacity of the Hewlets. But I wasn't going to start with them so early into the podcast. But since
Nigga,
you mentioned
what?
it, that's what it seems on these Twitter
Look,
streets.
I already knew they was gonna act a fucking fool because the president was like, "We don't give a fuck what these states is doing. Y'all should still be social distancing and wearing your mask. I guess these niggas is opening up, but it's still not safe yet. Shit is still being transmitted. Only 90%. I mean, only 10% of the population has had vaccines. 90% of us is just like, either I ain't trying to get that shit or it's not available to the people who do want to get it yet. So it's like, it's didn't go away. COVID didn't just go, all right, I done had enough time fucking with y'all. Like, I'm out. Like, COVID is still out here. Niggas is catching it. Niggas is still getting sick. Niggas is still dying. And even though the numbers are stagnant, it's because people had at one point sat the fuck down. But if y'all get the fuck back up too soon, look,
I,
Texas is
I
on
don't
that
know.
bullshit.
We need to go camping again or something.
And
I'm
we do to
tired.
go camping not next month, but in May, right? Isn't that the plan? That's when we're supposed to go?
So I'm just supposed to be miserable between then and now. No, I'm going outside. Be blessed.
My goodness.
I'll take a
It's
test before we
crazy.
go camping.
Okay. I'll pray for you. I, I was just on the group chat telling y'all what the fuck other group I was in, and I was just like, my mind was blown. Like, you want to go to these in-person events because it's not fun virtual, but you're risking your kids' safety by putting them in this motherfucking arena. I just like, look, y'all, my vote stands. I said what I said. I should have put the fucking Nene meme in the fucking group. Like, I said what I said. So if y'all going by, well, right now the numbers for no are more than yes. So if the yeses win, I'm just like, well, y'all had to revamp 2 choreography joints because I'm pulling my daughter. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we're not going to no in-person competitions. I said what I said.
Well, my job, we've been doing remote inspections, but more than half of the things that I have to check are physical things that I have to see. And
Right.
so we were having people take pictures, but then there's the issue with that as far as like
Are they
passing.
taking legit joints?
Are they taking legit joints, and are they making sure that what they're taking of isn't like, since we're sending it over, just regular,
Right.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the issue of the classification of the pictures
Right.
and stuff. And so
Right.
then in the last remote inspection, we just didn't review that stuff at all. So now today I was asked, well, we're thinking about having you do what you can do remotely and then sending you to South Carolina for the physical checks. I said, oh,
Mm.
okay, that's what's up. And then they were like, some of the bases are going to be like, well, you have to have the vaccine in order to come on the base.
But
Like,
you already made it know about that, so.
so the director basically was like, I can't force you to get the vaccine, but if it comes down to you can't travel because you didn't get the vaccine and they won't allow you to come, we may have to rethink your job duties here because you signed on to travel. But it's like we did sign on to travel
But
like
I didn't sign up to take
pre-COVID.
random ass vaccines. So
So, I know one of the locations I was supposed to go to in May, even if you have the vaccine, they still want you to go there and sit up in a hotel for 14 days leading up to the inspection. And so everybody is like, it's Hawaii. I'm like, but it's Hawaii in a hotel room. It's not
right.
like
It's
you're
not like you
there.
can go out and like be touristy and look at shit. Like, you have to stay in there in quarantine. That's the whole
Right.
purpose of being in a fucking hotel.
And knowing where I work, we ain't even gonna have no ocean view room, sis. So it's just gonna be like, I might as well
Horrible.
be in a hotel room in Oxon Hill. Like, what are you
Right.
talking about?
For sure.
So with my job not giving a fuck, with my daughter's school not giving a fuck, with my husband's job, they've been not giving a fuck. It's just like,
Mm.
I'm about to just go outside.
I'm too scared to catch COVID. Like, I have been trying to be as cautious as I can. Like, I have given in on certain things. Like I said, I've been to my best friend's house. Like, allow my daughter to participate in cheer, as long as it's virtual and she can go to practice and stuff. But like, I feel out in my parents' doctor's appointments because I can't avoid those. But it's like, I've been trying my best to like stay safe, but I'm bored, bro. Like, I would love to be like, look, fuck it. Like, let's just all link up and get an Airbnb and be like, fuck this shit, like on some Basketball Wives shit. But I'm just like so fucking shook. Like, I don't know, bro. The shit is scary. Like, I don't want to catch it. I don't want to make anybody else sick. Every time I get a sniffle, anytime I get a pain, I'm like, oh my God, please don't let me have COVID. Like, for real. Like, I don't know. I, I don't know. And my job, they actually just sent something out where they're extending it to April 30th before they even revisit, even looking to see if we're coming back in the office. So I'm gonna be home. My daughter's school, I think either this week or next week, they had kids that are under certain groups. They came back to school or they're coming back to school. I want to say it was this week, but I don't know if it was this week or next week. But are coming back into school. And any parents that wanted their kids to voluntarily go back to school, they like sent out a survey and stuff in our county. And I was like, no, it's gonna be a no for me. I'll see you guys when she's in the 4th grade. Like, she's not coming back at all. So and then what, next month they're skipping 2 fucking phases and going straight to phase 4, where they're like, yeah, it's open to everybody. Like, I had to like really go to the website and read, because at first I thought it was like a mandatory, like everybody's coming the fuck back. But it's like, you, like, if you elect to stay virtual, you can. So I was like, oh, sis, get ready. Like, I felt bad because this weekend, some girls on her cheer team got together and they had a surprise birthday party for one of the girls that she's really cool with. And the parent had hit me up and was like, hey, we're having this surprise party, blah blah. I was like, sorry, Faye's not gonna be able to make it. And she was like, oh, okay, we're really gonna miss you. And I never even told my daughter about it, because I'm like, she's not going, so like, what's the point in like telling her to let her down? But that was dumb, because I know they talk all the damn time. So she
Mm-hmm.
said her and her friends, they were all on FaceTime talking about it. And they was like, yeah, we're going here. She's like, I didn't say nothing because I didn't know what they were talking about. And then like the next day they were like, we were so sad that you weren't there, because everyone was there. And we're like, maybe she was busy and had something to do. And I was like, oh no. I was like, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, but I've been knew about it and I didn't tell you about it because the answer was no. And I was like, it's because of COVID. And like, we're not going to nothing. Like, no birthday parties, especially when it was like no specifics. Like, is this a house party? Is this a dinner? It looked like it was at someone's house from the pictures that she showed me that the little girls posted. And I'm just like, I don't know all these joints. Like, are they folks gonna be there? That's gonna be over the 10-person cap, because I know it's probably just 10 girls alone. So if you're allowing parents to come in, then that's gonna be 20 plus. And if I can't come in, then you can't go. So it's just all of that. And I was like, no, I was just gonna make it easy and not be difficult. So, she understood, because it's not like she has been going places anywhere anyway. But I felt bad a little bit, like, dang, she missing out on stuff, because some of these like parents is just like, yeah, go forth and be lit. Some kids was outside today because the weather was a little bit warm. It was had to be like 10 kids on the playground set outside our house. And I was just like, oh, okay, y'all not going, but that's nice. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just being like a hypochondriac or something like that, but I'm just scary. But I'm gonna
No,
leave it to you.
you have a lot more people that depend on you than I. The only person that depends on me has from the start of all this literally goes to another state every other week.
All right,
So like the risk for us has always been there.
right,
I just am the only person in the house that doesn't get a break from this house.
right, right. And
So
that alone can make you be like flipping tables. Fuck this shit. I'm the fuck
it's
out.
like one day I went to go do something. I think I went to like go get my car washed or something like that.
Mhm.
And my daughter was just like, I mean, you weren't here. And I was like, I'm always here. And she was like, yeah, I'm just used to you always being here. So it was like, but you don't even talk to me when I'm here. Sis, you're always in your room on the phone.
All right.
So like these people just like me to be accessible.
But it's just like, look, we take comfort in knowing that you're here. And if I need you, I know where to find you.
But then nobody gives a fuck about my mental when I'm in this bitch. Oh, but we'll talk about that
That
on
part.
Good, Bad, and Release.
I know
Anywho,
that's right. What else?
I have a
So,
topic.
oh yeah, what's up? What's up?
So I do want to bring up one thing that we talked about 2 weeks ago before I get into my other topic, but it all about race, complexion, all that.
Okay,
So
I
we
was gonna talk about that too.
we talked about OG on Basketball Wives a couple weeks ago, and you feel how you feel.
Mhm.
Um, I'm actually done with that show. So after today, I'm letting you know that I will not know what's going on. I'm not watching it. I'm so sorry. So,
Why? What you over it? Like as far as like, what is it that's like you're done with it? What like it's just not
it's
entertaining?
boring.
Uh, yeah.
It's boring. I'm good. Like if their
Mm.
storyline is going to be this whole OG thing,
Look.
then I really don't want to watch. Oh, my bad. I really don't want to watch it. But here's my little notes.
Okay.
Number one, last season during the reunion,
Mm-hmm.
they asked OG to sit on a separate stage because they felt threatened by her.
Mm-hmm.
OG never got violent with anybody. She may have said she was going to, but they all talk big shit. But Evelyn's ass done threw wine bottles, done hopped on tables. Tammy's ass done put her hands on several people. And at no point did they ever ask those women to sit on a separate stage because they feel threatened. Malaysia threw a table at Jennifer. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
But Bellacious brown skin.
yes, but a part of color, a part of there's colorism, and then there are the European features. It is really a thing
Oh my goodness, you sound like OG. Go ahead.
because it's a fact. It's just like even people gravitate more towards more European features, more they gravitate to anything that's less African. Let's just keep it a buck. So when you combine all those things, I definitely understand where OG is coming from. Then, not just that, when I saw last week's episode, the conversation that she had with Kristen, like it kind of came off like OG was being defensive and she wasn't being open to the conversation. But OG actually recorded the whole conversation. It was an hour, and my ass sat and listened to the whole
Yeah,
hour.
you tagged me in it, and I listened to. I didn't listen to that whole hour because I was just like, bitch, please. But I listened to it, but that doesn't surprise me because all Lord, social media, all reality shows edit shit to fit a narrative that they wanted to fit. And
But
plenty of them have not on that show, but plenty of the reality shows have complained that to be like, oh, that's not how it was. Like they just edited wrong. So like the editing out certain stuff doesn't
but that
surprise
feeds
me.
in, but that's the issue that she's having. That's one of the things that she's. Here's the first thing. Shawnee's the executive producer of the show.
But that doesn't mean
So
she's the editor though.
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
Shawnee is the executive producer of the show.
Mm-hmm.
She made it very plain and clear at the last reunion she didn't fuck with OG, and she's well within her right not to fuck with her. But because OG threw out the colorism thing, I feel like that's the only reason why OG is even back. I feel like if it was up to Shawnee, OG wouldn't have even been back because she really doesn't fuck with her.
Right.
But you're the executive producer of the show.
Mm-hmm.
The treatment of someone based on their skin tone has come up, and you have not sat down with that person yet. Like I understand what OG was saying, even with Kristen, like, do you actually care that I felt this way? Because if you
Oh,
did
sorry. It
care,
wasn't feelings. It was experiences. Please don't use the word feelings because that bitch
it
was doing the most.
sure. I understood where she was coming from though, because it's a year and a
With
half
that,
later.
with the
Yes.
feelings thing.
I You're cutting me off.
Okay.
Jesus. I'm saying I'm not trying to nitpick on words and all that other shit. But what I'm saying is I understand that if something happened in our group and then a year and a half later, now you want to come to me now that cameras are on to be like, did you really feel that way? Did you really experience that? It's not even authentic. Like, girl, do you really give a fuck, or are we just doing this for the show? And as far as Shawnee being an executive producer, like, you're the only person that she's really said she would like to speak to because she doesn't have an issue with you, and you haven't talked to her yet. It just comes off as like, and then I did want to go back to the editing thing. While she's not an editor, she still has some say so in things. So just the whole narrative of like the way they're editing things to continue to make her look like the bad guy when there are some valid points. I'm not saying everything that she says is valid, but she has made some valid points. One of them is the lack of accountability for Shawnee's friends. So maybe it's not colorism, maybe it's favoritism, but it's still something that's worth a discussion. And the fact that everybody is just so dismissive just because they don't like her, it's I'm not. The show is boring to me, but even if I was like still invested in it, I would probably be turned off because Shawnee's like, Shawnee finally said, I mean, Evelyn is my friend, and I have, let her slide with some things. So you're admitting it, but it's still not right. Like if I was working at the job that I'm working at now, and Billy Bob was able to get away with a whole bunch of shit that I couldn't get away with, that would be like a fucking HR issue. I'm done.
That's what's up. I don't got nothing to say. I'm leaving it alone. I mean, yeah, I don't agree. I just, yeah, yeah. I'll be quiet. I don't want to argue.
It doesn't have to be an argument though, but it's like it doesn't have to be an argument. It could just be like a exchange of words.
No, I know.
Honestly.
I know. I don't agree. But, you know.
So you think that it's okay for Shawnee to act different towards Evelyn than other people on the cast?
I think it's fucked up to just automatically go to race or colorism and shit when it could be favoritism. Like, these are my bitches. She did the same shit for Tammy, and when OG wasn't even on the fucking show and stuff like that. So, like, to automatically say someone's racist or it's colorist, like, that's shit that could fuck up your life versus, oh, she just fucking having favoritism for her friends. Like, I just think that she's been extra from the beginning. Like, I don't know. But yeah, that's my feelings. Yeah. But yeah,
I hope it's just not a show for me. So I'm good off that. I know I like that Jennifer defended her as well.
but she also
Um
defended Shawnee though and said that she over the years she didn't see any different treatment from the brown girls. Or I guess it doesn't matter because you have to be African to get
no.
mistreated, I guess.
Jennifer did say that, but she also said that just because she didn't experience it doesn't mean that OG doesn't have a right to say that she felt it. Just because it doesn't happen to all dark skinned, brown skinned women doesn't mean it's not happening to some. I just feel like it's weird that, like, when racism is in place, we can easily say, like, this is what it is. Even when white people are trying to tell us that it's not. It's like white people are always like, if you're not saying the word nigger, then it's like it can't be racism. But it's like really hard for people to wrap their minds around, like, colorism. And I'm here saying I don't know if it's colorism. I definitely know that it's favoritism. I do know that. Because there's no reason why that girl should have been separated when she's not been violent, and there have been multiple people that have, and they've been able to just go off and be free. But whatever.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But yeah. It sucks she feels that way, or I'm sorry that she experienced that, but
That is
life.
so belittling. Why do you keep doing that?
No, because she kept correcting and was like, it's not a feeling, it's what I experienced. She was so extra with it. So it's just like, I don't know. I just hate for someone that talks so much shit and is like trying to pound their point at you. But when someone is like asking questions or you're like, no, fuck this. I ain't about to keep giving you examples. I ain't about to explain nothing to you. So just, well, bitch, shut the fuck up then. Like,
But
then
that's
let's
why
not
I'm
talk
saying
about
the
it. It can't be a
editing was
one-way
messed up.
conversation. It can't be a one-way conversation. Like, it was just the most.
That's why I said I don't like the way it was edited, because when they were talking in the beginning, OG did say that she wasn't going to rehash it because she was like, I've already explained myself a million times. But like that was maybe the first 10 minutes of the conversation. She went on to fully explain herself yet again.
Yeah, I listened to that, but I'm talking about when they were doing the whole I guess was it this past episode or was it the preview for the one that's coming up when Malaysia goes over there? I don't know. But it was another one where she was just like, I don't feel like I need to explain myself. And even in the comments, she was just like, was it the no, it was the little side interview. She was like, they're grown women. If they don't understand colorism, then that's on them. Then well, like, bitch, well then let it go then. Like, if you don't want to explain your experiences and try to educate somebody, then you just gonna get what you get. Like, just if you're not gonna help someone not be ignorant to something, and you're just like, fuck it, it's not my responsibility, then you're gonna keep dealing with the same shit. Because if they don't know and they are truly clueless about like what the fuck did I do, and you had like Kristen and Malaysia, like, I thought as brown people, like, how can I be colorist to you? What if they honestly and truly don't fucking realize what the fuck they're doing is colorism to OG? And they're like, explain it to me. And she just so, well, fuck that shit. Like, I don't, you're grown. Like, I don't have to explain it. Well, then, bitch, you about to get the same fucking treatment then. If you
But
can't explain to me, like, how our actions are offensive. So
if
that's
they
just why I was
genuinely
like,
if they genuinely didn't know and really just wanted to be educated though, then why wait until filming starts like a year and a half later? That's what that was. And then not just that, but OG the night before just talked to Kristen, and now I have to rehash all this with Malaysia, and it's like she's probably, for one, she's probably tired of explaining herself to all of the women individually. For two, it's not like they haven't been sparring on social media where she's put stuff out there to educate people. I'm sure people have been in these women's comments dragging them and being extra. Literally, Google is free. Like, you could just Google what colorism is. But the biggest thing for me is, if this was something you really just are uneducated about, and you're wanting to hear like how I may have felt that way, for you to wait until we're on camera, that's fake and phony as fuck to me. Like, you don't really care, because if you did, you could have hit me up when it
I
happened.
feel like all this shit is fake. Because if I was being so mistreated, why come back to the show? Like, if I don't fuck with the executive producer and I'm being discriminated against,
Money.
then like, just don't fucking come on the show, bitch. Go back to football. Like, what are you doing? Like, I can't.
Money. People do a lot for money and acceptance, and that's what I'm seeing this week. For example, did you watch Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's little interview
No, but I
yesterday?
seen the clips of everything with her with Oprah, or
I
them with
watched
Oprah.
I watched the whole thing, and I have
I didn't know
thoughts.
nothing about it. I didn't even know it was coming up because I would have watched it, but I didn't know nothing about it until after it happened. And I was
Mm.
spicy, especially after watching The Crown. I was like,
I was like, season 7 of The Crown is gonna be litty.
girl.
So you want the highlights real quick, so then I can get to my thoughts, because since we're still on race.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When she was pregnant with their baby Archie, somebody high up in the royal family asked about what the complexion of the baby was going to be. They wanted to remove the baby's title, like he wouldn't be a prince, even though historically he would be a prince.
Mm-hmm.
When Harry and Meghan agreed to step down from being full time to just part time, they removed their security. They stopped, there was no more money. Child Tyler Perry had to let them stay in his compound in LA. It was just a whole ass mess. So, Prince Harry and Meghan, they were talking about racism and all this other stuff. But what I found interesting was that, they were both like, if we would have just had more support, we would have never wanted to leave. And maybe I'm taking this the wrong way, like, because a lot of what they were saying was about the whole press stuff, like how the press was basically coming for Meghan. But it's like, so y'all didn't have a problem with them being racist? Y'all just wanted them to defend y'all from the news, the press? I don't know. But then Prince Harry is white and Meghan is mixed. And so maybe because they haven't really had to face racism so much, that it's easier to kind of like brush the microaggressions off. as
Mm-hmm.
long as like the bigger stuff is addressed. I don't know. I was team Megan, but also I was just like, fuck them people. Like the fact that they didn't want to name names. Child, you they called your mom. Y'all said your mom was straight out of Compton on like the on one of the headlines. Like they were going in on everything about you, and you worried about names. Shout out to been naming everybody.
Maybe they felt like they would have got. I mean, it's still the royal
Probably.
family. But I don't know. I seen people like low key, like kind of like that, like dragging her, like, girl, you know what the fuck you was signing up for, like blah blah. So like, is she not supposed to be with who the fuck she loved because she like his family trash? Like, do you know how many marriages wouldn't fucking be going on if if a bitch didn't marry a nigga because they fucking family was on some fuck shit? And maybe she didn't think that it was going to be that fucking blatant up in her face. I guess you really don't know until you are in that situation. And they like, well, what color is your fucking kid gonna be? Like, bitch, what? Like, what are you talking about? So yeah, I don't know. I want to see the interview though. I seen the clip where she had said that, and Oprah was like, "Excuse me, what? What?" It's funny because the whole time I'm watching this shit, like Prince Harry looked just like fucking Carson Wentz, and I was just like, "This nigga looks like Carson Wentz," type shit. But um, yeah, I commend him because he pretty much gave up a lot of shit in order to be with her. So I just hope that they work because it would fucking suck if they going through all this shit and all this tea is being spilled and he's giving up titles and all this other shit and these niggas break up. I would be like, God damn.
I'm actually more worried for her than him if they break up because the earlier rumors about her would just be reestablished. Like she forced him to do that. She made him choose. There's an ultimatum. Like she would
Hmm.
just get vilified all over again, whether it's true or not. It would be
Right,
easy.
just to make him look better.
And I'm sure that family will welcome him right the hell back. You know what I'm saying? So it would just be basically her against the institution all over again. To your earlier point about like people saying like she knew what she was getting herself into, no the hell she didn't, because we watching the damn Crown and we like, damn, we didn't know
Right.
that, and we were alive for some of this shit. So no,
Hmm.
and we're in America, like we kind of, we knew some stuff, but like we're not. I know I was not as
I'm not.
invested in
Right.
this.
On all the details of what the fuck going on with the royal family and shit.
Yeah, so like,
And they probably
uh,
already low key feel a certain kind of way about Harry because he was Diana's fucking son. And you know how they felt about Diana's honey. They was just like, oh shit, this motherfucker here. She was different from them. So
she was saying something like, she was going to go meet the queen for the first time. And Prince Harry was like, yeah, when you see her, you have to curtsy. And she was like, to see your grandmother though? And he was like,
she was a whole ass
I'm
queen though.
he was like, yeah, that's the queen. She was like, but we're about to be in the house. And I
I didn't
would,
watch the show, nigga, and I know you supposed to do that anyway.
but prior to the show, I wouldn't have realized that. Like, if we in the house and we just family, I have to curtsy at you and
Oh
we're
yeah.
not in public. I've
Right.
been
Yeah,
like,
that before the show, I probably would have been like, maybe in public, like niggas gotta do like the
right.
bowing and the shit like that. But like, the pomp and circumstance or whatever the fuck they call it. But like, yeah. But after I saw the show, I was like, damn, even her host, her sons and shit do this shit every fucking time she entered the room. So like I saw something, some clip where she was like she wasn't really not groomed, but like a lot of the culture and stuff she wasn't taught. Like she had to teach herself shit. Like she was googling the national anthem and like different like hymns and shit that she needed to know that was for their culture and their country and stuff. And she was like, nobody even thought to be like, hey, you need to know X, Y, and Z and you're supposed to do this. She was like, it was literally like I was googling shit and like figured it out on my own. I was like, oh yeah, bitches
But
ain't
that's
fucking shit.
kind of what they were showing Princess Diana had to go through. And
Mm-hmm.
she was from there. So she probably, she knew the national anthem and stuff like that. But there was still the
Yep.
little stuff. She just had to
The
figure it
protocols, she had
out.
to figure it out, get embarrassed and shit, trial and error and stuff, which sucks. But Yeah, I want to see that. I try to look for it, but it's not, the full interview isn't posted anywhere yet. But I definitely want to see the whole thing. I just saw clips and then like people reacting to it and stuff like that. But I didn't get to see the whole thing. I was mad because like I literally would have watched that shit. But I didn't see it advertised anywhere or like anybody posting about it
How
coming
did I
on.
hear about? I think Twitter is how I heard
Um,
about it. Yeah,
yeah, I missed all
freaking.
of it.
It just made me feel like. I guess I do agree with what you were saying with the other show we were talking about. Like, why are people so pressed to fit in spaces that don't want them?
Right. Make your
Like,
own lane or just like fuck that. Like because at the end of the day now you're giving them a storyline for a whole season. Like what the fuck would they have been doing if OG was like, fuck y'all. Like y'all mistreated me. I don't like this shit. Like I'm not about to be on here and give y'all a storyline because basically like the past what 4 episodes have been about this. What would they be talking about? None of them was doing nothing because it was COVID. So like what the fuck would they have been talking about in these past couple of episodes?
but that's what I'm saying about the whole Harry and Meghan thing. It's like, I'm sure it sucks. Like, he doesn't have the title anymore. Luckily, he was able to stay afloat because Princess Diana had left money for them.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to, stay afloat. And then they ended up getting a deal with like Netflix and Spotify. That's something they probably wouldn't have been able to do under the royal family being
For
there.
sure.
So they were able to do that. But it's like, I can understand Harry. That's his family. Like,
That's his
that's
blood
what,
family. Right.
right. That's all he knows. But Megan was even coming across like, she just wanted to be accepted so much. And I don't know, because I don't give a fuck about no in-laws. So for me, it's just like, I mean, bitch, I don't
Maybe
have
it's
to be
because
here.
it's so they're like famous and like it's the royal family and the appearances. Obviously, their whole family is about appearances. So even though they be doing a bad job looking at that show,
They
but
look
because I don't know, maybe she just wanted to be accepted to be like, oh, like I'm a part of the royal family, like blah blah blah. Like, what do I need to do to fit in? But
but
like
at
you
the
said, I would have
detriment
been
of your
like, fuck
mental
y'all.
health.
Like, if I try it off the beginning and I'm seeming like this is a one-way street, then like fuck this shit. Like royal or not, I'm not kissing your ass. Like I'll give you your fucking curtsy and your hymns, but like I'm not about to sit up here and run after you and beg and be like, please, like me. Like, nah, fuck that. Like, mm-mm.
I don't get sitting with letting people just lie on you for years and years in the age of social media. Like, this is
Receipts
not,
are available.
you could just go on Twitter and be like, this article's a dub.
I
The
like
end.
fake news. Hashtag
the
fake
end.
news.
The end.
Right.
I don't get it.
Not unless they have certain customs where like maybe they don't tweet a lot or maybe like it's not their like in their tradition to be like putting their business out there and tweeting on social media. But honey, I would have been doing it.
But that's what I'm saying. If what Megan was saying was for when other things would come up that were lies about other people in the family, somebody would come and issue a statement and say this is not true. There would be something, and she was saying they weren't protected. Lies would come out about her all the time, and nobody from the royal family would ever refute it. But bitch,
I
pick
wonder
up
if
your
Harry
phone.
I want to say I wonder if Harry was like on her side, like, nah, fuck that, like this is messed up, or he was kind of like on the fame, like, well, this is how it is, like, they're gonna protect the royal name. Like I wonder in the beginning stages like how he would like what his stance was. Like because like you said, he grew up in that. So that's just what they do. Like if something happens, us they got niggas that they know and they tight with the press that even be like, hey, don't drop this yet. Like, hey, like let me give you some money. Like, can you take that out? Like type shit. So like they could have been paying somebody to be like, just put that shit in the news. Like, fuck that bitch. Like we want to dirty her
They
name so maybe they
have
won't get married.
they have parties for the press in the palace.
Oh, we'll see the love.
So that's my thing. Like, the royal family and the press are actually
They got
like,
them, yeah, in cahoots.
so the fact that they let that joint run like that, cook
It's
like
probably because they
that,
wanted to, right? I wonder if Harry was just like, nah, go the high road.
I could tell you, but you want to watch it, so I won't say anymore.
Tell me, because I'm probably not gonna be able to find it. I don't know when they releasing it or where it's gonna be at.
So basically he was saying like in the beginning, like he said being with her basically was opening his eyes to like what was going on. He definitely said that the mentality of everybody in that circle is just like, it is what it is. Like everybody has gone through their share of bullying, and you just have to have tough skin kind of thing. So that's what he was conditioned kind of to believe. But when she said that she was like feeling suicidal to the point where she didn't feel like she should be left alone, that's when he started to like really, I think he was like torn at first, like not really trying to take a side. But
Right.
after that, and then when somebody, started talking about the complexion of, I really think when she got pregnant, that's when he was just like team all the way his wife, like whatever
Right.
is the best thing for my wife and my son kind of thing.
Right.
So Harry, he seems kind of like a real one, but I don't like to give them too many kudos because 2 weeks from now somebody will dig up some shit and it'll be like,
It'll be a recording her like, man, just get this bitch. You're like, oh, Harry.
yeah. So
I'm rooting for him and hoping that he got his mama's heart and it ain't a hoax.
I think he does though.
Go ahead, Carson Wentz twin. Every time I looked at him, I was like, this is my old quarterback. Because look, got the red hair and everything, the eyes, all of that. But yeah, I'm waiting for the next season to come up because that's going to be interesting. So what is this deal? You said they got a deal with Spotify and Netflix. Like to do what? Are they gonna make like a movie or like a podcast? Or what they gonna do?
I don't know specifics, but I don't think it has anything to do with them. Like, I don't think it's going
Oh,
to be like a, oh, come and look into our lives type of thing. I think it's going to be like whatever, like the environment. I'm not saying it's the environment, but like something that they really feel passionate about. They're just going to like release some shit that has to do with that kind of thing.
got
But I could be wrong because I'm not that invested. I just wanted to tweet with the folks because I knew Twitter was going to be lit. And so I was like,
chat. Them memes was everything though. I was like, ooh, I'm mad I missed it. Missed this shit. What else? What's going
you said you
on?
had something about race.
No, you had touched on it. About the whole OG thing and Meghan Markle. That's what it was on that
Oh,
joint.
okay.
And I had a question. It was like, have you ever experienced colorism?
So I'm lighter, and so I was told that I can't have experienced it. So I don't know. I don't know.
But were you treated differently by the color of your skin? Because that's what the definition of colorism is.
I don't think that I have ever, but I know people that are lighter than me have talked about feeling that way because people assume they're mixed, or even if they are mixed, it's like, they have the issue about not being black enough or not being white enough and stuff like that. But as far as me personally, I don't think I've dealt with colorism. I dealt with like I dealt with some like DMV type dumb shit. Like I lived in Virginia for so long. So then when I moved to Maryland, it was like I act white. And it was just like, really? Because I live like 20 minutes away from here. So I don't understand. But I don't think that was a skin tone thing. I just think that people in Maryland think that people from Virginia are Bama's. I mean,
Not all of y'all.
what about you?
I don't really think I have. Like I it's been stuff like which I don't think it's colorism, but like apparently I don't know what colorism is, but like maybe it was just like off some ignorant shit. Like niggas assume like when I was growing up that a, a brown skin girl, because I don't really consider myself dark skin, so more brown skin, I guess, that a brown skin girl couldn't have long hair that was really hers. So everybody used to assume that my hair was fake growing up. like only like I guess the light skinned girls could have like long hair and stuff like that. So it was crazy because I was ignorant in high school. So I would just start lying and be like, yeah, my shit fake. This weave like shit. He was like, damn, that joint look good. I'm like, I know, right? Like my hair is real, but like I'm gonna go ahead and go with the dumb shit with you and be like, yeah, this joint weave like a motherfucker. But no, not where I was like treated badly, where like anybody say anything, but yeah, I don't think so.
So I've heard a lot of Black women in general say that of all different shades. And so that would fall in line with that. That wouldn't be a colorism thing because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what your experience was, but I just know the idea that Black women just having like really long hair. Anytime I've been with any Black woman that has long hair, they always say that like people just assume it's
It's fake.
weave. I mean, I even have pictures like when my hair was loose, when it was like long,
Mm-hmm.
and people are like, "Oh, so you used to wear tracks?" And I did, but I also didn't. Like I've
Right.
had all the hairstyles, so
Right.
I think it's just I don't know. Does everybody just think we nappy headed
I guess
hoes?
people they expect our hair to be coily and short, honey. I guess they think that's what all black people hair is supposed to look like. And I'm just like, do you know that there's black people mixed with things, but we're still black? So like, I mean, yeah, like we might not have the same curl pattern, but like, nigga, we all black. Like, whether my hair is this short or this long, like it just, I don't know. But yeah, it was definitely like dumb stuff like that where they were just like, oh, that's your hair. I'm like,
So,
and yeah.
since we're having a candid conversation about colorism,
Mhm.
what I don't understand is I don't understand. I told you about my experience in that one group where I was just like, wow, like I never like people were talking about their experiences with colorism within their families. And I had made a comment like, damn, y'all got some fucked up family members. Like my family would never.
Mhm.
And it was like, bitch, da 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 da, blah 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 blah. And so it's just like I was just like,
Like all that, my
my
black
thing
sister.
my thing is like in general, like white people don't give a fuck about our shades in that way. Like I'm not saying that they definitely prefer
A lighter
uh
tone.
they
Because
definitely
if
prefer
Obama was looking like Idris,
yeah, that's dead. That's dub. But I mean it Meghan Markle, look at her. Meghan Markle look ambiguous as fuck. You don't know
for
what the fuck
sure,
she is. You know
she
what I'm
just look
saying?
exotic. You just like, oh, I know she's not all the way white, but she's exotic.
Exactly. And even them with her light ass, they're asking about what the skin tone of their son may look like. That bitch is half,
High yellow.
you know what I'm saying? Their son is literally going to be a quarter black or some shit. And y'all are so fearful of blackness that y'all would question what his complexion may be when this bitch look. And genes, recessive genes are a bitch.
For
He could have
sure.
came out.
And grandma would have came, jeans would have been kicking.
I really hope that their baby she's pregnant with comes out her mama complexion, but that's another story. I just feel like
Mhm.
there's so much that we have to tackle with just getting a seat at the table and it's just so much other shit. And it's like the division within our community when it comes to colorism. I'm just like, really, guys? Like, is this what we're doing? So, for example, ooh, don't nobody cancel me. Okay. So when white people come on the internet and they say, well, I experienced racism because when I was a kid, a black person called me poor white trash. And everybody is like, just because somebody made fun of you, it doesn't mean that we're racist. We couldn't keep anything from you. Like you were, you still have whatever privilege and whatever you have.
All right.
So I saw on this thread that people were talking about how growing up, people used to say African booty scratcher. And I remember that because people said it all the time.
Growing up, yeah.
And that is what they use to um say like colorism exists. And so for me, I'm like, I can definitely understand why that would hurt somebody's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
But we're like 8 years old, and like, we did we what was something taken from you? Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, were you
Right.
oppressed in some kind of way, or were your
It
feelings
was
hurt?
just getting fried. Right.
But niggas get fried every day. So I never know. And that's why I just tread lightly. I don't know.
That's why I feel like a lot of times, I'm sure people listen to this podcast and half the shit I say niggas cringe, and that's fine. But I just feel like how I grew up, it's like you had to have thick skin. And I'm not saying that that's right or that's wrong, or like you just have to deal with it because some niggas might be in counseling because of this shit. Who knows? But what I'm saying is, it's like everything is so hypersensitive now that I can't discern from what the fuck is really like, oh wow, is that really offensive? Or you're just fucking being sensitive at this point. Because it's just so much stuff that it's like, oh no, you don't say it like that. You gotta say it like this. Or oh no, that's offensive because blah blah blah. And I'm just like, well, goddamn, what the fuck can we say? Like, let me
Right.
just shut the fuck up at this point, because no matter what the fuck I say, somebody gonna be like, oh no, nah, Dice, like you can't say it like that, or why you see it like that. So I never know these days. Like, I I would want to be like, nigga, you was just getting joned on and you didn't have no comeback. So like that's all that was. Like you should have been better at joning at people. But then they be like, no, well that was colorism, or no, that was verbal abuse, or no. You're just like, God damn, kids can't even join on each other no more. And like that's some type of bullying or some shit. And that's another one, bullying. Like everything is bullying these days. Like kids don't have to go through, it's like this socialization is so fucking different now. Like there was times where people were actually getting real bullied, like bullied, where like niggas didn't want to go to school no more. And then it was just like, oh bitch, look at your fucking jeans, my G. Like shit like that. So it's just like some stuff was just like harmless. You're getting joned on and you just don't have a comeback. But it's like they just lump everything together now, because I feel like the world is so sensitive now. And I don't think I have the time or the patience or the give a fuck to sort through what I should actually give a fuck about, which sounds bad. But I'm just like, yo, like you gotta have thicker skin with certain things. Like, yeah, some things it's like, all right, nigga, that's kind of tough. Like, we went through some shit, or we said some shit when we was younger that was like, all right, that maybe was borderline fucked up. But some of the stuff is like, niggas can't even joke about shit, or like you said, like roast people anymore, because people are like, what the fuck is joning? But like, you can't even like joke on niggas no more, because it could be looked at as some type of bullying and shit. So,
Like,
child.
when I'm reading in these threads, and they like, there were some people talking about, like, the differences in how they were treated, like having siblings where one person was one complexion and one was the other, like, or like the names that their families would call them, that were like, there were certain examples that were definitely, like, I could definitely see it. I can even see it in, and we talked about this like earlier, like early on when we started the podcast, and you rolled your eyes, which is fine. But even how they casted like characters in movies and stuff, and I used the example of like Gina and Pam,
Mhm.
because although they had the same job, it's like Gina was more like refined and classy, while Pam was like the more
Hood.
ratchet one.
Right.
Or even with Gina, Tisha Campbell in House Party, she lived in the suburbs, and the character Shireen lived in the projects. And like, it's stuff like that, when you examine it, I can see. But when somebody is like somebody put on Twitter, like, oh, all the bitches love dark skinned niggas now, but in the 90s, y'all was calling us African booty scratchers. And it's like, I mean, in the 90s, we were all like mad young, and we were ignorant, but like, are you still
Mad?
what?
You mad, bro?
And it's rude, and I don't want to be a part of the problem,
I'll
but
be
it's
the
just
rude
like,
one. You still mad or no?
but I'm just like, in what way, if I'm 8 years old and I called you an African booty scratcher in the third grade,
And now
Because
you
I
30.
right, and now I'm 30 something years old. I just want to know, did I stop you from getting a job? Did I stop you from getting money? Did I stop you from dating somebody? Like,
If people treat you differently because I called you African booty scratcher that day, like what is it?
right. I just have to know, like,
How did it
that.
affect you?
Because when white people come on the internet crying about, oh, a black person called me cracker one time, we laugh them the fuck out. So it's like, I the same kind of energy I try to give colorism and transphobiaism and all these isms. It's like I kind of gotta give the same energy to what I feel. It's just it was some jokes
Right.
30 years ago,
But
20 years
everybody
ago.
is like comedians can't even fucking make the same jokes. They can't get the same fucking jokes off because
Mm.
half of our comedians would be fucking canceled. I look at old school joints and it's funny as fuck. But the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, these sensitive niggas today
My
would have got the fuck
nigga,
up out of here.
every time I watch something old now, I just be like, "Ooh, that's funny," but
I mean,
I
yeah,
hope they
you
don't
would have
rediscover
definitely,
this one.
you'd have definitely been on Black Twitter going in on this one. Like all the woke niggas would have been going in. But like, yeah, I just think we're in a time. It's like I feel like a lot of stuff was going on back in the day where everything wasn't right and some stuff definitely needed to be addressed. But I think we went from, all right, let's be a little bit more sensitive to this and, like be more accepting of certain things and like maybe not, use certain words because those words can be harmful or hateful to like the fucking floodgates open. And it's now like, be sensitive of everything, be accepting of everything. Don't say that. Don't say that. And it's like, yo, I don't have the bandwidth to even fucking research shit. Like when we were talking about the other episode when it was like you can't say women or something like that. What was it? What you can't say? I don't know. Cause I'ma
You
still
can't
say it.
say females.
Females, that's what it was. And I'm just like, nigga, why? It's just like stuff like that where I'm like, how is this harmful? Like your explanation, I understand the words that are coming out
Excuse
of
me.
your mouth and what you're saying, but I don't understand how that's harmful or detrimental to someone. But those are just my ignorant ass opinions. But yeah, I just think niggas is just so hyper sensitive and focused. And I don't know, niggas need lives a little bit because some of the stuff that people be doing think pieces on the internet, I just be like, so what is your day job? Like, cause how did you write all this? It's like
I like the think pieces because,
some of them. Some
oh
of them
yeah,
be ignorant as fuck.
for sure. But I mean, that's how I be learning some of the stuff that I learned. That's why sometimes I read stuff and I'm like, okay, I can see that point, and we go from there. So I'm not about to say the word because I done already said too much, and I actually try to keep it PC on this podcast about these kinds of things.
But you about to talk about females?
No, I'm not. So the word, so in where I grew up, in the
Mm-hmm.
area I grew up, um, TRANNYFAG
Mm-hmm.
and FAGGY or
Oh,
FAGGI, those words,
FAGGOT.
right? Or
Mm-hmm.
or if you put the e at the end, like a
Mm-hmm.
e.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Literally, that was okay to
It
say
was fun.
back in the day, like
And even gay people were
to
fine
the
with it.
group. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say not just amongst straight people, but in those
right.
circles, it was okay to say.
For sure.
It's no longer okay to say, and
I ain't say that shit now.
I am totally fine with that. I'm not gonna say y'all see I just spelled it. I want
Spelled
to
it.
please don't compare it to nigger though. I don't like it.
People were saying that it's the same. Oh no. It don't even have the same origination and the hate behind it. Like what are you talking about?
And I don't know a large group of niggas that was letting white people say niggas.
All right.
I know groups where I grew up that allowed it, and I've
Mm-hmm.
talked to enough people, my cousins and whatnot, in their circles where at one point it was okay to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that that makes it right. I'm just
Right.
saying let's not compare them. I
Right.
don't I don't like that our experiences as Black people often get compared. They're like the goddamn blueprint for everybody else's shit. I'm sure that these groups have struggles. I
But
empathize with those struggles,
it
but
definitely ain't the
it's
Black struggle.
because they piggyback off of our struggle and then they don't come back to help up,
Mm-hmm.
with our struggle. We're still fucking struggling, and niggas in other groups are flourishing out
Flourishing.
here.
For sure.
So it's just like, please just stop comparing everything to it. It's not the same fucking thing. It's just not the same fucking thing. It's annoying to me. I'm tired of seeing it. I see it all the time. I done started getting on Twitter a lot more, and the white people on there, I'm about to block. Like, I
You
don't want
follow
to
white
sound
people?
racist. No, but
Oh,
they
I'm
end up
sorry.
on my timeline.
Oh my goodness. That sound bad. I'm like, you follow white people? It's Black Twitter, Shay. What the fuck? Not mixed Twitter. It's like that.
It's just so frustrating to hear people comparing their suffering to that of like a Black person, period. Even with this whole the Meghan Markle thing, it's like I don't I wouldn't even defend Meghan Markle on a normal day. Like, because I didn't give a fuck. That wasn't my ministry. I didn't give a fuck about any of that. Until season 7 of The Crown comes out, this wasn't going to be a thing. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm like looking at the tweets and they're like, she just needs to stop crying. She just needs to deal with it. Like, and I'm sitting here like, so she should just deal with racism.
Right.
And people are really telling me like, it's not that bad. When Kate, the Prince William's wife,
Mm-hmm.
when they were dating, somebody leaked her nudes. That's just as bad.
No.
Somebody leaking her news is as bad as somebody saying that my son can't be a prince, even though by y'all bullshit ass fucking thing that's been going on
Rules.
since the 1200s,
Mm-hmm.
he can't motherfucking be a prince because you're worried about the complexion of his skin, and that's the
Right.
same.
Right. Like,
Suck
absolutely not.
my dick.
Right. They're bugging. Bugging. That's why social media, I always say, it's a gift and a curse. It's a double-edged sword, because while it's so fucking entertaining and it gives me life, it also makes my ass itch. I'm just like, yo, what the fuck?
I think you have to move past your ass itching now and just read some comments, because like in these bullshit things that happen, there's always a gem or two. Like, it be nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, that makes sense. Like, I can wrap my mind around a lot of things. I can definitely see where people are coming from, but it's just I don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh, because I see you looking at your notes really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Watching these shows that are not Black and watching these Black ass shows right now and how they're handling COVID is also very telling. And all you little white bitches that made your fucking Instagram block Black last June are full of shit. Let me tell you something. Every show that's Black that is coming on now, they're like, oh, 2020 was crazy. We started off and COVID happened, and next thing you know, we have to go march in the street because of George Floyd and da da da. But I'm watching the white people, and the only thing they're talking about is COVID. They're not talking about
Black
anything that
Lives
has,
Matter or nothing.
and so like all that shit that y'all were doing last year was performative as fuck. Y'all don't
Mm-hmm.
give a fuck, and it's so obvious because on these
Y'all
reality
recording that
shows,
shit back then.
yeah, on his reality shows, this shit is happening in the news. It was happening around you, and everybody on these white shows are just like, "Yeah, I just wish the mall was open. I just am so tired of wearing the mask."
But no, let me tell you something. I made a post today because, first of all, I didn't know that my shit came back 3 weeks ago, Real Housewives of New Jersey, because that's my shit. And so I'm watching the first episode, and these motherfuckers are having a fucking party outside. Not a fucking mask in sight. I said, wait a minute. Now, I just caught up with Married to Medicine. These bitches had on masks, shields, was talking about the whole mask. Brother Damon went over there and was like, I need you to put your shield on, Toya. Like, don't fucking put it on. So you go from that And then the same time, you have like bitches out here like parlaying with no mask on. And I'm just like, yo, two totally different worlds, my G. Like you said, niggas was front for the gram, making it seem like they cared. But like, even with Real Housewives in New Jersey, nothing was brought up about like Black Lives Matter. Not that I expect them because, you know, Italian niggas from New Jersey. But, you know, I'm just saying, like, nothing was brought up at all. It literally was just talking about COVID and some people lost their family members. And they was like, now get into the season. I was like, oh,
I
okay.
get it, but it's some people out here that still just want to fit in. This goes back to what I was saying. Like, these motherfuckers be showing y'all all the time that they don't give no fucks, and y'all
But
still be on the gram crying for inclusion. And it's like, for fucking what? It doesn't matter what the fuck you do. It doesn't matter what the fuck you do. At the end of the day, you're a nigga to a lot of these niggas.
for sure.
Period.
Right.
It just, I don't understand why we continue to cry about the same shit. These people
And they don't
show
give
us
a
how
fuck.
they don't give a fuck. They're gonna
Mm-mm.
motherfucking post a fucking black square. They're gonna say, "Oh, look, it's Black History Month. We have a nigger on our executive board now after 50 years." And then guess what? That's fucking it. You're
That's
not gonna hear
it.
anything else.
It's crazy because when everything was going on last year and they started having all these commercials with more black people in it, and I was just like, they just trying to shut us the fuck up because at this point we're still not addressing the fucking issue. We're still not talking about the police brutality. No laws are being talked about or like procedural changes. None of that is being looked at. But we getting a couple commercials, and instead of the white Jake from State Farm, it's a black Jake from State Farm. Like
Right.
just shit like that where it's just like, all right, like I see it's more black people in commercials, but this is not our problem. We don't give a fuck about representation on TV. We're asking for fucking police brutality and us to stop being killed unjustly. That's what the fuck we're asking for. Like fuck all this shit that y'all doing, and it's great. Like the NBA, like with the All-Star weekend and how they're donating all this money to the HBCUs, and like it's amazing. Trust me. I went to HBCU, so it's lit because HBCUs do not get the type of publicity and support, especially money wise. So I love it, but we're still not addressing the fucking issue. It's great. You let them wear the shirts to say I can't breathe. You have moments of silence. They have like the black people names on it. I get it on certain platforms like the NBA. Maybe it's not so much that they can do, but I'm just like, we're not even talking about police brutality anymore. Like literally, it's not even being talked about no more. It's just like give these black people some shit to make them happy, and then like let them move
And
on to the next issue. Like
everybody's really eating that shit up. And it's like, I don't want to be the negative Nancy here, but
I will.
that shit's gonna happen again. And then you motherfuckers are gonna be, it's to the point now where like I was watching the family Love and Hip Hop family reunion joint, and
Which I still haven't watched. Damn it.
Yandy was talking about it, and I fast forwarded through it. Not because I don't care, and not because I don't believe Yandy, because
She kind
oh,
of been doing some shit.
she has, even though, because I will say at first I kind of was like, I don't know, because Yandy be fake as fuck. But I just was like, don't nobody even gives a fuck about this anymore. And all this is gonna, for me, is gonna infuriate me. I literally have to stop watching news at when like shit like that is happening, because I'll go Black Panther shade real quick. And I am trying so hard to be level headed and just like whatever, but I need y'all to keep y'all third eye open. Stay woke, hoes. They don't give a fuck
Look,
about y'all.
at all. Everybody is so cute with these little handouts they get, and they know what the fuck they doing. Give us a little bit of crumbs or something and make it seem like, okay, we care, we're working on it. And then I'm not wishing it on nothing, but God forbid it's going to happen because nothing has changed. And then it's going to be like, it's like a fucking cycle all over again. Like
Mm-hmm.
Zimmerman at first, and then it's just like all this shit. It's just
Yes.
we go through the same up and down roller coaster where like everybody's all in, everybody's posting. We gotta do this, we gotta change, we marching, we doing this, and then it burns out. Then another killing. Oh no, fuck this. We need to rally. We
Mm-hmm.
need to do this. Oh, okay, okay. We post about it. Oh, okay. It simmers down. It's just like at this point, I don't want to seem like I don't give a fuck, but I'm like, y'all niggas not gonna follow through. Like we're
That's what
not
I'm
gonna
at.
keep this same energy for longer than a month. We're gonna be posting about this shit for like a month when this happen, and then something crazy gonna happen, and they're gonna be like, oh, niggas seen Tupac in Florida. Oh shit, let's post about that. It's gonna be dumb shit. It's like niggas is squirrels. We can't fucking focus on nothing for a long period of time. So, child, it's hard for the masses to like keep that same energy when, or it's hard for us to keep that same energy when the masses are so like, oh, okay, it's not a trend anymore. So like, let's keep it pushing. Like, what's the next hot thing? Like, yeah, I can't. America makes my ass itch. If I could, I would go somewhere else.
I want to move. I have to find a country that's not also anti-blackness. Not a lot of those. Actually, somebody
Ah,
told me
fuck.
that Amsterdam, it's a lot of black people that live that from America that live in Amsterdam. I need to do some research.
Amsterdam ain't that the litty spot? You could do whatever the fuck you want in Amsterdam. You could turn the fuck up. Let's fucking go. Like, fuck this shit. Cause America is looking like more and more like the fucking ghetto.
The ghetto. Oh, I have more things, but I'll let you go.
Tell me. No, I don't have nothing.
I mean, it was just to. I don't want to get too black
like
power
TV
on
and
people.
shit. Go ahead, cause my shit is TV and T. You go ahead.
Did you watch the Judas and the Black Messiah movie?
I never even heard of it. What is it about?
On HBO, it had the dude from Get Out. Both of the dudes from Get Out, actually. It was about the Black Panther party and basically Fred Hampton and the informant that basically was a key factor in his assassination.
No, I didn't. I honestly didn't even hear about that. It's good.
Well, I already knew a lot about the story
Oh, the
because
story.
I used to fuck with a hotep nigga. He was like a real hotep nigga, so I already knew most of this stuff. But it was like cool to see. But I'm noticing, now we're getting away from the slave movies. I hope they don't think I want a whole bunch of informant movies. I'm just like,
They be like, let me tell you what brought this down. The
right.
fucking tea.
It would have been good to see. It would have been good to have a Fred Hampton movie without so much of the informant. Like it really was about the informant, honestly.
Right.
But Black. I watched. I was in there.
And you said it's on HBO?
Hmm.
All right, I'm gonna check it. Is it a movie or like a series?
It's on HBO Max, by the way.
Okay. I'm gonna check. I think I have that because I think it was something else that you told me to watch that was on HBO Max. I didn't think I had it, but I ended up being able to watch it. So I'm gonna look and see. We got so many goddamn streaming apps now, like Paramount Plus and all this random shit now, like Peacock. Like, this is crazy.
If anybody is listening, we need to go in and get half of these. I get half of these streaming services, and you get half of these streaming services because I want Paramount because I want to watch the real world. But I'm not paying for no more streaming services. I'm not buying Peacock. I'm not buying Paramount. I'm not buying Discovery Plus. I'm not motherfucking buying Zeus again. I'm not buying them.
And my ass got all of them.
Don't make no sense.
Just come on over and you can binge. You try and get away anyway. Come on up. You can binge whatever you want to watch.
You letting people in the house?
I let you in the house.
I haven't been. I haven't been to your house in a minute.
Uh, that's what I say. I let you in. Like, ain't people ain't have no party in this bitch. You can come through. I mean, your family, obviously. I'm not saying just you, but
I'm leaving these hoes.
look, the whole purpose is to get away. Let me see. Yeah, the rest of my shit is TV stuff. Oh,
Well,
I
let's
know
get
we talked
into it.
about it on the group chat, but since our last podcast was the D'Angelo versus, right?
We talked about it on Clubhouse, didn't we?
Did we? I don't know. I was really
Yeah,
inebriated. Did we?
because you said that you didn't watch it. You didn't finish watching it.
Okay, bet. All right, we're gonna leave it alone. I'm not talking about that because those who didn't log into Clubhouse, we want. Um, let's see. I started watching this thing on Showtime, Pharaoh versus Allen, about Woody Allen and his nasty ass.
I wanted to talk about that.
Yes. You watched it?
Are we officially in TV time now?
Yeah, because I don't really have no tea. I mean,
Yes.
no other stuff.
I'm watching that as well. It's on HBO, by the way. You said Showtime. I just want to let the
Oh,
people know it's HBO.
okay, cool.
Yes, I have been watching it. I actually haven't finished the episode that came out on Sunday. I only got like 20 minutes in and then we had to record. So I'm kind of pissed because it looked like it was getting good. Have you seen all the episodes?
All of them. If something came out yesterday, then I didn't see the one that came out yesterday because we was watching All Star stuff. But I
Mm,
watched the first two because I think the
okay.
one coming up was the third episode. So we haven't watched the third one, which I'll probably watch. I'm not gonna watch it tomorrow because I'm gonna be busy. Probably tomorrow night. No, not tomorrow night either. Wednesday. I'll watch it then. But so far, nasty man, honey.
He's nasty. He's a nasty nigga. But you know what? I feel like the 80s in Hollywood was nasty in general because
Nasty as
it's
fuck.
a lot of accusations of that kind of shit.
Back
Like,
in them times. Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Mia Farrow sideways though because all them
Please say
niggas
what I'm
were
thinking.
saying that they were noticing weird shit. So like, why were y'all not protecting y'all kids? I don't understand.
My man off the rip said children are a zero for me. Off the rip. The nigga said when they got together, he was like, kids is a no for me. Like, I'll come over during the day. I love you, blah, 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 but I'm not living with you. That would have been red flag number one. Like, this nigga don't like kids. But she pressured the nigga into having children with her
Mm-hmm.
and taking on her adoptive kids. Oh, sorry, if y'all want to watch this, you might want to fast forward this because we about to be talking about this shit. And take on her Angelina Jolie fucking compound of
That
kids
part.
and be like, make them like your family. So it's like the nigga low key was like, and I'm not capping for this nigga or caping for this nigga saying that like, oh, you should have known he was gonna be nasty. No, the nigga's still nasty. But there was so many red flags where you should have been the fuck up out of there. Like you had a fucking psychologist in your building come to you and be like the interaction with him and your
Yes.
daughter is off, like family members, like
The
stuff how he's saying how
babysitter.
he's putting fucking suntan lotion and he grazing the girl's butt and you had to take the just shit like that. Why does it take so many instances for you to be like, hmm, this ain't right? You just keep on seeing that it's awkward situations and stuff. And then I guess it made her feel better when they went to counseling and the counselor was like, he just doesn't have normal interactions with children, it's not sexual and all this other stuff. But I don't give a fuck. I would be like, well, until you work out your issues, like maybe you should not be around the kids until you're able to work out whatever the fuck it is. And his obsession with their daughter, like how the nigga will walk past everybody else in the room, adults, other children, and go straight to her and focus on her. And you're seeing how she's starting to pull back from her own dad. Like, bitch, like how many more fucking red flags need to be thrown from the referee for you to be like, this nigga is nasty? And like I said, I'm not putting this on her. It's not her fault. But sometimes you got to be alert to who the fuck is around your kids.
You say that it's not her fault, but you can literally get hemmed up for child negligence, like for allowing your child to be in a fucked up situation. So I'm not blaming her because that nigga's nasty, but
Okay.
I am blaming her because there were multiple times that her, the fucking babysitter, the fucking neighbor all said some shit. And it's like, for me,
It only took one.
one
Trust and believe.
time,
That's
one
it.
time. And because my husband is not Amara's father, that
Mm-hmm.
was a huge concern. Like, because of my past, I was just like very, very like adamant about having conversations with Amara about what's appropriate and what's not. And
Right.
I just don't play those games. So for me,
Right.
I kind of was just looking at Mia Farrow like, bitch, was Woody Allen's dick worth your child's safety?
Exactly.
I don't understand. First of all, Woody Allen looks weird,
Yeah, he looked
but
like a creep. But I mean, if she's into creepy guys, I mean,
right.
so
But
be it. But
mm, it, like you said, it was way too many red flags. It should have never got to that point. It should have
at
never got
all.
to that point. And I'm not going to give away this episode. I will say one thing, that they were
Mhm.
basically saying she didn't want it to be true. And it's like, of course you don't want it to be true,
But you go
because you're
ahead.
going to feel like you put your child in that position by being with this person. I
Hmm.
understand that. But you wanting something not to be true so bad could be detrimental to your fucking children, because
Yeah.
you don't want to acknowledge what you're seeing.
So they're still going through it because you haven't taken them out of that situation. Like you're just like, no, this can't be true. No, he would never do that. And whole time, this motherfucker sexually abusing your kids and all this other shit, and then wifed up your adoptive kid. Like what the fuck? What
I don't
the
like
fuck?
it.
It is nasty. Like, is he alive? Was he dead?
Hmm.
He's alive. Is he
And
locked
they,
up?
no, he's still married to that to the stepdaughter.
Look, honey.
They living their best life. Um, Yeah, they're not going to talk about it in the documentary, but the stepdaughter done came out and said, or adopted stepdaughter at that, was
Mm.
saying like Mia Farrow wasn't this grandmother that great mother that everybody says she was. Like she preferred her white kids, the kids that she bore, over the Asian kids and stuff like that. And I don't know anything about that. I'm just
He
like
could
that.
be feeding her and brainwashing her shit because apparently they said they tried to come out and say that they weren't messing around until she was in
She was
college.
18.
But they were saying that the doorman and stuff was seeing her in his apartment going to see him on school days, and she was a whole high school kid. So like, you're a fucking liar. Like, so he was Mr. Nasty Man for a minute.
It, even if she was, even if this happened after the day she turned 18, nigga, that's nasty. That is your long-term girlfriend's daughter.
Right.
This is your stepdaughter. Like,
Right.
that's
Regardless
nasty.
of if it was not your birth child, it was still you were a father figure to this girl, and you didn't turn a father figure into like, yeah, I want to fuck with her. Like, what are you
Well, they're
talking
still together. I want to say that woman is like 50 now.
about?
So she's grown and they're still together, and it's like,
Child, look,
go off.
nasty, nasty man alert. But
The 80s were wild though. Like,
I'm
I
just confused because they'd be quick to get a black dude to fuck up out of here, but would he living his best life, huh?
not just that, but people still talk about how great of a director or
Producer and stuff.
writer, whatever he was, is, and it's just like, y'all really y'all go up, because niggas don't listen to R. Kelly like that no more.
Look, let me tell you something. I when I was listening, granted, like some of them were before I was born, but they would I watch old movies or have watched old movies back in the day, and I every movie they list, I was like, never heard of it, never heard of it. What's that? Yeesh, never heard of it. And then when they were talking about like one of the movies was based on one of his girlfriends that was like a teenager at the time, and then they showed the actress and the actual girl, and it looked just like her. And he was like, "Yeah, you were my muse." And y'all still watching this shit? Like,
And
but y'all can
praising
stop
it.
listening to R. Kelly talking about 12 play. He could have been talking about the girls in the dungeon, and y'all not listening to that. But y'all can still watch Woody Allen movies. So, child, goes the fuck off. But yeah, that was good so far. I love me a good documentary, honey. What else? Did you
So
watch Coming
Dice
to
is
America?
oh
Uh oh.
yes. I was
What you was
gonna
about to
say,
say?
so Dice is caught up with Love and Marriage Huntsville.
I am.
All this time she
I
was,
thought I was behind y'all.
no, she is all the way caught up. And I would just like to talk fully about Martell now.
Yes. Let's go.
He's fucking trash as fuck.
Two thumbs
Like,
down for that nigga. Cause look,
I swear I thought Marcel, or however you say his name, was the worst
Mar-
when in
Marcel.
season
Marcel.
in the first season, because I was just like, I didn't like the way he talked, you know, and then he had that whole like, I expect you to just be in the house taking care of the kids type of thing. But Martell is really just out here like every episode, like, I mean, but Melody cheated on me. Melody cheated on me. And she's like, sir, we broke up. And yes, I've been talking to somebody. I did
Right.
not have a 5-year relationship with somebody. I did not get pregnant. You know, he got that girl pregnant more than once. And she just had abortions before.
No, I did not know that.
They had a relationship. I mean,
Like whole
obviously
ass.
they've been
That's why
fucking
she
for
acting
five
like that.
years.
She like, nah, I'm about to put all this shit out because, like, nigga, you was loving me.
So how do you feel about how, so the way all this, I don't know if you remember, the way all of this came out to the public was Mel felt like, you know, it's one thing for you to be cheating, but it's another thing for that person to feel like they can speak to me any kind of way. Like you should be handling your business a little better. So, like, her thing was the girl had called while they were in a car or something, and
Mm-hmm.
Melody answered the phone, and the girl was like, basically like, "Bitch, let me talk to your nigga" or something like that.
Right. Right.
So, like, does that make it worse?
So look, I'm the type of nigga that I'm gonna fuck you up regardless. Like you not, I'm not. No, respectful cheating my ass. Fuck that. I somewhat understood what she was saying. Like to me, I feel like it's if I was that type of female, it could be more forgiving if it's like, all right, he was just fucking hoes. Like he was seeing a bitch and a fat ass in a bar and knocked her down, and then went to this business meeting out of town and he fucked this joint. Like, but when you have like a relationship, like an emotional, like I'm going to see you all the time. You done knocked her up, like allegedly bought her vehicles and all this shit. That's a full blown relationship. And at this point, like, why the fuck am I even around? Like, you're not going to live two double lives where you got your girlfriend over here and then you can come home to your kids and stuff. Because he had even said something where he was like, well, I come home every night. I come home every night. And I'm just like, nigga, that doesn't make it better. Like, so that means your ass was probably lying, talking about you going on job sites and all this other shit, and you was going to go see her. So it's like, nah, nigga. And then you are so invested in this relationship that she feels bold enough to talk to me any kind of way, which shows the type of female she is because obviously this bitch knows that he's married. So you're a nasty bitch as well because you're in a whole relationship with a married man with a whole fucking family. So you're no victim. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know how when it's like the dude don't tell the girl that he got a whole nother, like a wife and all
Right.
this other stuff. But bitch, you obviously know because you're like, let me talk to my nigga. So you obviously, you ain't say, who is this? Like, who is this? So you know the nigga's married. I don't think that like one would make me be like, oh, okay, like I'm fine with that. Like I would still be ready to whoop your ass either way. But I feel like it's more forgiving if it was just like random hookups and it was just about sex versus like it's a whole emotional connection with somebody. And then the female is just like feeling entitled because you're giving her that power or whatever you're telling her, or however you making her feel to make her feel she's on the same level or higher than a whole ass wife. You know what I'm saying? So I get her on that part, but maybe that's some southern shit where you like cheat politely, babe. Those were even if I felt that way in my head, those words wouldn't have came out my mouth. Like, because you basically giving this nigga a whole pass to cheat politely, which even after that he didn't. But
But I think a lot of people feel that way though. Like I've heard multiple people say, like, you know, a man is gonna do what a man is gonna do, but he just needs to make sure I don't never find out. So I'm like,
I mean,
oh,
a man can do what he gonna do if a girl can do what she can do. So I mean, if we both in these streets, then like let's get it popping and just not telling anybody. But I'm not gonna be at home being fucking Betty Crocker and like the best mother in the world out here, and you in these streets like turning the fuck up. But like, no, like we gonna both be in these streets then. Like, let's be in these streets. Let's just you gonna have a double life. I'm gonna have a double life too. But like, I don't know.
I just, yeah. Well, we all know I cheat back, so there's that. But you better not have no no chick just talking to me any kind of way. That's all I
Mm-mm.
know.
Like, bitch, she gonna call me and talk about, put your nigga on the phone. Is
I
is
don't
this
know
a
if she
business call?
said that.
No,
I
I
think
know I'm being extra, but like
right.
that you calling and you just basically like, where the fuck is Martell? Like, hello, who are you? Like, is this a business call? Like, this is his business partner, Melody Hope. Like, oh no, 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 this is his bae. Click, and then I'm
I
definitely
think
in the call.
I think what she said was the girl was like, why are you answering his phone or something like that.
That's still too sassy for my liking.
It's too much. It's too much.
Too fucking much.
Because I'm very much a believer that it's not the chick that should get the energy. It's the dude, because it's the dude that made the commitment and he's the one that violated. But if you come at me on some like,
If you giving me
why
that sass,
why am I answering my husband's phone?
oh, you catching these hands along with him.
Go to hell.
Right. Both of y'all
Ain't
need
no
to
be
get divorced.
blessed. Go to hell.
Straight to hell. Yeah,
I'll
she's
help
nuts.
you.
Yeah, oh, he is trash, bro. Like it's crazy because like my feelings changed so much over the like watching the seasons. Like I felt the same way about Marcel. I was like, yo, he's such a fucking chauvinist pig. Like I hate the fuck how he talks to Tisha.
Tisha.
Tisha. I fucking hate how he talks to her. And it's like she wants to pursue her career. She got all these certificates. Like, why the fuck is he acting like this? And Mel is so extra. Like, why is she so insecure? Like, this nigga, like, blah, blah. All I had to do was keep watching and shut the fuck up because now I'm like, Marcel is that nigga. He's funny as fuck. Tisha
He
is
is.
fucking annoying.
She is.
Martell is trash. And Melody
Super.
is fucking validated in everything she was fucking doing. Like, so the more
Mm-hmm.
I watched, I was like, all I had to do was sit back and shut the fuck up because all this shit just worked itself out. Because I was just so annoyed with these characters. And yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it for him. And the fact that they have been dating since college, like that shit blew me. Like y'all built
Mm-hmm.
this company together. Then the nigga and his feelings talking about I'm going for full custody of the kids. Nigga, are you fucking dumb? Like,
Just
is
to
it
be
like she was
spiteful.
like a bad fucking mom? Like she was helping you run this business, taking care of home, trying to take care of your nasty ass, and like you're gonna try to go for full custody. If any judge gave this nigga full custody after he cheated, it's plenty of receipts. The shit is on the show. The bitch is probably going to admit to it. There's a baby on the way. That's a DNA test. Like that's all the fuck it takes. And if a judge fucking gives this nigga full custody, oh my, I don't see it happening. You better get that joint custody and call it a fucking day.
He just lacks accountability. Like he can't sit in his shit and his shit alone. It's
Mhm.
always a reason, a justification. Even when he would explain why he cheated, it's like, I mean, if she's not satisfying me sexually, then what am I supposed to do? And it's
Leave
like
her. Get a
it's
divorce. Like what the
it's
fuck?
just
I
I
hate
don't
that.
I don't know. I don't know. Is it as simple as just get a divorce though? Because they have, I mean, we've seen how divorces can play out for some of
Hmm.
our loved ones,
Hmm.
and it's really not that simple.
Right.
Depending on the woman that you marry, which is why vetting your future spouse is important.
Right.
But they have businesses together, and so
Right.
he's even in the last episode was talking about how he can't do certain things because of what's happening with their divorce.
Right.
So I actually do. I feel like he could. It's not as simple as just being like, just get a divorce.
Or I don't know. Don't stay. Be separated. Like I don't want to be with you. So let's be separated. We're gonna have to fit. Like it's gonna might take years to figure out this whole business shit. But like I don't want to be with you. Sexually,
Yeah.
you're not doing it for me. You're not trying. So like I don't want to be with you. But don't put on this front like I love you and I want to make this shit work
Right.
and have this whole happy fantasy. And then in the back of your mind, like I'm mad as fuck because she not fucking me. So I'm just gonna get a whole nother relationship and then play the victim later on and be like, but you wasn't fucking me. Mm-hmm. Like,
Right.
nah, like just start the process to do what you need to do to be happy and like get the fuck out of here. Like I said, it's not like it was like she was like not satisfying me and then I went out here to the bar and I knocked some joint down. Like, nah, bro. Like you was in a relationship. That's more than satisfying sexual shit. You was having talks with her and like buying shit for her. That's more than fucking a bitch. Like, so it's more to that
It
than
went
just
on
you
for
what
5 years.
exactly.
I don't see how you could fuck somebody consistently for 5 years and nobody catch feelings.
Right, for sure.
Like, I just don't see how that
That's
could
not
happen.
happening. That's definitely not happening.
You
And he
know,
was raw dogging her because she fucking got pregnant. Like what?
multiple times though. She went on some interview and was talking about how she had had like one or two abortions some years ago. And so when she got pregnant this time, she was just like
Doing
she
it
wasn't
again.
doing that. But what I had put on Twitter the other day, like, listen, I have been really dumb for dick before. Like, I
Right.
totally
For sure.
understand
We
getting
all
some
have it.
good penis and losing your mind. But Martell went on that show last season and called her a peasant. He said he
I
should have
remember.
never jeopardized his marriage for that peasant. Then proceeded to have another baby with his wife. And you turned around, took him back, fucked him raw again several times, I'm sure, because I'm sure you
Yep.
didn't get pregnant off the first time y'all
And got knocked
rekindled.
the fuck up.
Got knocked up just for this nigga to go back on TV this past week and say he wishes the pregnancy rumors were not true. He's
Mm.
still in love with his wife while his goddamn mama sits there crying
Right.
over her daughter in law. Bitch, you are a peasant now. Because
Right.
who does that to themselves? Like, it's the lack of self worth for me.
Dog. Something's wrong with her in real life that you even putting yourself through this shit to be with this nigga that obviously is not in real life trying to leave his wife. Like the only reason why this divorce is going forward is because Melody finally got sick and tired of the fuck shit. Because if
That
Melody was
part.
still dealing with it, Martell would still be with her. Like and not leave. Like and I don't even think that's on some just the business shit. Like he acting like he still want to keep his fucking family together like in the beginning when he was talking to Maurice and Marceau, it's like he kind of wanted to make it work, but he was like, I think Mel's done. Like, I think it's like a wrap because like she's done. But I feel like if she wasn't done, he would still be back in there. Like, he wouldn't be like, fuck this, I want to be with my new baby mama. Like, and I think that is the part for me that made me feel for Mel so bad because like they just had a fucking baby. So she's like, yo, it was the worst time because I was already not fucking with you and was looking to leave your ass. And then I find out that I'm pregnant by your ass. And then find out, oh, so is your side joint. Your side joint's
Right.
pregnant now. And like our kids are gonna be around the same age. Like, that's just trash. He's just trashy. But like you said earlier, he has a problem with accountability. It was the same thing when him and Marcel was beefing, and like he never took ownership of his part. I mean, I think they tried to kind of piece it up towards the end, but it was like, well, not the end, but like the last episode. But Marcel didn't make it to the camping thing or whatever. But he is trash. I can't like with him. He is the ultimate fuck shit. And he act like he's so big and bad. And my least brother was here for this shit and was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm a fucking confront this nigga and tell him what the fuck his kids saying. You all puffing up at the chest, say that again to me, and I'm gonna fuck you up. But then you're the one who like cowards away and grabs the kids and leaves. Like, bro, I'm not feeling him.
Not at all. He's very narcissistic. I just, yeah.
Crasheroni. But
So
yeah.
coming to America, you mentioned it before we went on that tangent.
Yeah. So, honey, Coming to America has been on social media since it came out on Saturday.
It
Saturday.
actually came out Thursday night.
Oh, it did. So
Mm-hmm.
Friday is when I watched it. Then I didn't know if I watched it Saturday or Friday. So I watched it the next day because somebody said that Prime released it early,
Mm-hmm.
so it came out that Thursday, but it was supposed to come out that Friday. And honey, I seen such a big difference in opinion. Some people was like, "Oh, I loved it. It was amazing." Some people was like, "Absolute trash. Don't waste your time." Then we had the people that were like, okay, it wasn't the best movie in the world, but like if it's black, then you should fucking support it. Like, why the fuck are y'all out here down in black movies? And I'm just like, I get it. Like, we should support black people, but if something is not good, we're allowed to say it's not good. There's TV shows, there's movies, there's songs, there's all type of stuff that is all black. But guess what? I'm not gonna say that shit is lit just because it's black. I get it. Root for everything that's black. Yay. But I don't have to like everything that's black. I wanted to do good, but you don't have to like it just because it's black. But I actually liked it. It wasn't like the first one, but we did, at least people shouldn't have expected it to be as good as the first one. But it was just good and nostalgic. It had a couple of parts that made me hee hee, but I liked it. Like, it wasn't trash. I've seen worse fucking movies for sure, that I was like, why did I even waste this hour of my life? But it wasn't that bad to me. And it was like so many cameos. So that was cute. And some of them were funny. So what did you think?
Coming to America is one of my favorite comedies. It's legit in one of my top five. Like, I know I recite lines to it in the house for no reason. I love Coming to America. It's fucking funny as fuck to me. Um, but the first, first of all, I didn't want them to do a remake, a
A
sequel.
sequel.
I just, but I have an issue with people rebooting and sequeling us to death. I want some new fucking
TV
ideas.
shows and movies, it blows my life.
When I saw that they were making it PG-13, my first thought was that makes sense because that's going to make sure that the jokes are not offensive. Because Eddie Murphy is Eddie Murphy. And if you've ever seen a motherfucking Eddie Murphy movie or
You
a stand
already
up of
know he
his,
be in this bitch.
he's gonna hurt some feelings. Like, and I
Mm-hmm.
know it's still in him to hurt some feelings. So it was just like I went into it like not expecting much because of just the rating. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, this shit is a 30-year fucking difference. Like, it's a 30-year difference. So when I watched it, Leslie Jones was funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
Wesley Snipes was funny to me, even though
Which
he
I didn't
wasn't in.
expect.
I wanted him to be in there more because I was cracking up. Of course, the little barbershop scenes, because those were actually some of my favorite scenes. Those were
Mm-hmm.
funny to me. Like, overall, I was like, there were some moments that were funny, and then there were some moments that were corny as fuck to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't like, I'm gonna be honest, the son, I didn't think he was a good actor.
Yeah, his personality or like the way he was acting, it just didn't mesh well for me.
It didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I could have thought of so many other reasons why they would have gone back to America, and it's just like the whole son thing. I didn't really like. I didn't like him as an actor, but I love the nostalgia. I love that part because it's like I
Mm-hmm.
said, it's one of my favorite movies. So me, you know, certain things I was like, oh, but then some other things I was just like, they're overdoing it. It was just so weird. Like, there was so many ups and downs for me. Like, I felt like they
Mm-hmm.
tried to squeeze every old black person in this fucking movie. Like, why
For
was Gladys Knight
sure.
there?
Right.
Why was Salt and Pepper there? Like,
Bruh. I
why
was
were
so
all these
confused
people
about
here?
Salt and Pepper. I was like, in both?
Morgan Freeman. Like, what are we doing?
I was like, yo, they put everybody in that bitch. Like,
No reason.
bruh. They say, look, you free this weekend? You trying to be in Criminal?
Right.
Rick Ross got to be in the shit because it was his house. Like, it was just like,
Which made sense because we knowing that was his house, but it was just like, yo, there's mad black people in here that don't need to be in here.
bro, teamy. But he
He
didn't even get to say ladies, ladies, and more ladies. I wasn't
and
gonna say
that's the
that.
thing. I was like, there were like people in there that I wanted to see more of because I feel like they would have like made it
Made it
funnier.
funnier. Mm-hmm.
But they were on. But I feel like they could only work with what they could because they put so many motherfuckers in there.
I felt like the movie was so rushed. Like that movie, like if like the story was like kind of going quick because they were trying to cover so many things, like you said, and get so many pieces in there, like that they would have had to make that movie like 2 hours long or whatever. But I'm confused. Did the lady who played the mom, did she die? Or she just wasn't fucking with being in the movie?
I don't know. I was assuming that she passed,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Because I
I
was
didn't look it
like,
up.
they kind of mentioned her indirectly, but like she wasn't in this movie. So maybe she was just like, I'm not with the shit, or like maybe she passed away. But I heard that James Earl Jones actually wasn't on set. Like he filmed his parts like remotely. He was just like, I'm not doing it. Like I don't know how
I,
true that was though.
I don't know how true that is, but I was going to bring him up and say I was so glad to see him because there were rumors when Lion King, the live action joint, was coming out that
Mm-hmm.
he was dead and nobody knew, and that they literally just took his because he played Mufasa in the
Right,
cartoon,
right, right.
so they were saying that they just took his lines from the cartoon and made it sound like it was a part of the movie. So I was just so happy to see him. I don't give
Like
a
you
fuck if he fit.
alive.
Yeah, for me, it was like, see, bitches,
He's
stop trying to kill
alive.
everybody.
Honey, Mr. McDowell is aging. I said
Yeah,
this man looks like he is like old, old. I mean, but he's been old for a very long time. So like
yeah.
he's been old since good times. So I mean, like he's
And that was the other thing. Most of the people from the original are still alive, and they were able to be in the movie for 2 seconds, maybe 5 minutes. It was nice to see. But this was a money grab for Eddie Murphy. And that's just what I went into it knowing. Like, he
right.
knows that the people are going to go watch this movie. So he's
Hmm.
just like, okay, why
I'll
not?
get this bag. Why not?
And I'm not mad at him
He like I'm not
because
trying to make no masterpiece. The masterpiece was the first one. Y'all can get this joint and maybe introduce it to a new generation and make you go back and watch the old joint, which will be more coins for me as well. So like either way,
right.
it's a win-win. If it's trash, it'll have you talking and I'll get my name out there even more because he hasn't, not that I know of, done anything recently. But child.
Because I went back to watch Coming to America, then I watched Harlem Nights, and I was about to watch Boomerang, but I had something to do. So he got his
He
little
got
10
some
cents from
streams
me.
for sure. It was cool though, but y'all gotta relax on social media on how critical y'all are. Like I swear the movie wasn't even out 24 hours
Yeah.
and niggas was like telling it, talking about how it was some shit, don't waste your time. And I'm just like, yo, I'm glad I just sat my ass down and watched it for myself because it really wasn't as bad as everybody was saying. But at the same time, y'all gotta stop making it seem like we have to love everything because it's a black movie because that's dead.
I totally agree. Like, I'm not going to like everything just because it's black, but like there's 55 million Jasons and Freddys, and I don't see why people getting on the internet trashing them like the way we do. It's like so weird that we be fake black, pro black, but as soon as
Give
something
me the
black
quick.
comes out that we
Mm.
don't like, that doesn't live up to whatever standard, like it's not enough of y'all to just be like, oh, the joint wasn't, it wasn't for me. Like, oh, or oh, I didn't think the joint was funny. Man, niggas was like, that joint was garbage. Like somebody put on their status, like, oh, that joint wasn't bad. Somebody was like, nigga, you smoking dicks. That joint was trash. And it was like, wait a
Like,
minute.
why are you so
I
aggressive about it? Like,
I didn't say it was my favorite movie. I said it
it
wasn't that
wasn't
bad.
that
I
bad,
giggled.
right? Right.
That's
You know how many suck shits? Like, I heard they remade Saved by the Bell, and I heard that shit wasn't good. Like, some stuff just leave it alone. But like you said, a lot of them white joints, nothing. 90210. We could talk about how they fucked that up. They should have just left it the way it was because that was my fucking show.
they rebooted
But
it twice.
yeah, twice because I watched the one where Mac Wiles was in it.
I did
I
too.
actually kind of like that one, but like the most recent one where they brought the old
The original
cast
people.
back, that
Hmm.
was trash. But you didn't see fucking white people going the fuck in, like, oh no, fuck this shit. Why did you do that to my classic? But let that have been, I don't know, Martin or some shit like, I don't know, because Martin's kind of sensitive for me. But some black classic, dog,
But we don't have that as many black classics as
as they
white
have as
people.
white
So
people.
it's
You're
like
right.
just appreciate, just watch it and enjoy the fact that most of the people are still alive. Most of
Mm-hmm.
them still look decent enough. They're still thriving. You're going
Right.
to get a chuckle or two, and then
Take it what it is.
watch something else. It's not the end of
Everything
the
ain't
world.
meant to be a cinematic masterpiece and a deep movie to make you feel all these deep emotions. Sometimes it's just good entertainment, like you said, to give you a chuckle and to make you go down memory lane. Just take it what it is.
What y'all should have been trashing was Tales from the Hood too. That's what the fuck I should have been trashing like this.
I
It was a suck ass movie.
don't think even think I watched that.
Snow Mead.
Did you watch Married to Medicine? I think we brought it up.
Yes. I'm
You know
so
that's our
happy it's
show.
back.
You know that's our show.
I can't wait to see what the season is giving.
Me too. Simone is still fucking pissed with Jackie, my nigga.
For sure.
She's just like, yeah, whatever, I'm staying. Which is
You
gross.
know, Toya used to get on my nerves, but I like Toya now. She just be drunk and loud. And
Bruh, I was just about to say that bitch was drunk and eating them crab legs, and I was like, why this look like me? She was like, y'all fake. That's why. I was like, she's like, fuck this. You fake. That's fucking why. I said, God damn, Toya, tell them how you really feel.
I'm with it. I
Yeah.
she used to get on my nerves like the first season, maybe the first two seasons, but now I'm
Cause
just
she was so
like,
uppity, but like now she seemed like her real self. It's kind of like I don't know if she was trying to put on a front in the beginning, be like, oh yeah, like I'm bougie, but I feel like the real her coming out, she's just like, I'm just trying to drink Patron and get lit and like fuck that shit, like blah blah blah.
what I think it is, I think like Toya likes nice things. Like she
Mhm.
likes her big ass house in her suburban ass neighborhood, but she also likes to get drunk, twerk a little some, fuck on her husband, eat her crab
Right,
legs in
and
peace.
ain't nothing wrong with that. That
And
sounds like
I
a life
can
for you.
relate. Thank you.
That sounds like the fucking life.
I can fucking relate. Do you know somebody called me hood, and I was like, I'm hood, and he was like one of Joe's coworkers. I gotta
I don't
remember
even know
that
you like that.
that part, but it was like because I had got drunk, and I guess I was a little rah rah. But I'm like, baby, that's just how we get down when we get drunk. But like we out here, I just don't feel like I'm hood. I don't know. Maybe
Right.
because I know real hood niggas. I'm like,
I was about to
yikes.
say, like, we know real hood niggas and we ain't hood. We might be
Hood adjacent.
ratchet, hood adjacent.
Hood
We might do
adjacent.
hoodish things, but we are not hood.
We
Like,
like to have a fun time. We like to let our hair, I feel like it's letting our hair down because for
that
the
part.
most part, we got responsibilities. We out here in
We ain't
corporate
taking it too
America.
far.
It's just like relax. And that's how I feel about Toya. I feel like Toya, she's finally being able to enjoy the fruits of her husband's labor because that bitch don't work.
Hey,
And sis is just here to have a good time. And
for
I'm
sure.
with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Fuck that. She got her big house and her nice little gated community, honey.
And her golf cart.
Yes, honey. She out here mimosas on wheels and shit doing coke. I said, damn, I wish I lived in this neighborhood. Cause
Thank
quarantine
you.
would have been litty. I'm like, mimosas on the
Lit.
golf cart? Nigga. I'd have been like, tequila Tuesday. Who wants some shots?
Here, let me wipe down your cup with this Lysol wipe. Yes,
Exactly. Here
girl.
go your tequila. Like, she was living her fucking life. Who I'm not feeling is Contessa.
I've always hated Contessa. She's annoying.
I don't know. Like I tried to like her so many times. At first I was like, maybe she just misunderstood. Usually when people come in the first season, it's like, eh. But then like I just don't like her. It's this arrogance about her that not in a good way. Like I can't really explain it, but I'm not feeling her at all. And from the teasers, it's looking like is her husband cheating?
I
Because
mean,
that's what it seemed like.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Sir was not happy with her last season, so
Mm,
I kind of
look.
was like,
Then they bring it back. Lisa
ugh,
Qua wasn't on this one, but I seen her in the
she's in the
previews for
preview.
upcoming joints. So, and then the white lady, what's her name? That was on the
Oh, from
earlier
the first
seasons.
season, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot her. I see Mariah finally left for real this time.
Which I'm like, girl, you should have you were doing too much trying to be on the show. Like they don't fuck with you. And at the end of the
Right.
day, you're an executive producer. So what does it matter? You're gonna get the coin anyway.
Right. Just get your coins, let them do their shit, and then collect your check, girl. Because I think because she felt a certain kind of way because she was the one who brought the group together. But it's like at this point, none of them fuck with you. So like you're trying to make fetch happen, and you should just like sit back and be like, all right, well, fuck it. Like,
But that's why I'm like, I guess I'm just made different because I want the coin. I can keep the fame. That shit don't make
right,
no sense to me. Like,
right,
let me get some money on a low where I can still go to like the store on a regular, wear
and not
sweatpants when
be
I want
famous
to.
and well known.
Nigga, that shit sound
But
lit.
for sure. For sure. And be caking like shit. Nobody know who the fuck I am. All that fame shit where niggas, you can't go to the mall because niggas is running after you. You need security and you can't do nothing crazy because paparazzi taking pictures of you looking crazy and shit. Like, who has time for any of that?
That's
But
dead.
just give me the bank accounts that they got. Did you say you was over Real Housewives of Atlanta? What show did you say you was over and you're not watching no more? No,
Basketball
you
wives.
Basketball Wives. Are you caught up with Real Housewives of Atlanta?
I am.
I know I said this last time, but I still don't fuck with King. Like, I cannot fucking stand her. And this season is just putting the fucking sriracha on top of the taco, nigga. I don't fucking like her ass. Like, she's just so dramatic. Like, bitch, if you think I believe that anybody but you leaked this shit to the fucking press about this fucking bachelorette party, then you're bugging. And then she was like, it sure had to be somebody that was there that told somebody, and then that person leaked it. Bitch, it was you. It was fucking you. Like, because
Right.
nobody else was that pressed or invested to find out who was fucking and then to keep talking about it. Like, it was a bachelorette party. Who the fuck continues to talk about a bachelorette party weeks after the shit happened? Like, let it the fuck go. Are you just mad because you didn't fuck Bolo? I'm just confused on why you're so fucking invested. Like,
She's mad because she didn't fuck Toya.
that part, and that Toya was like kind of talking against her on a couple of parts. Like, she thought she had her little puppet with Toya, and so it's like, no, that was fucked up. I don't know why you keep bringing it up. I mean, you my girl, I fuck with you, but like, no.
And even on this last episode in the confessional, she was like, "I 100% feel like Kenya leaked that story."
Right. And she was like, she's been a good friend to me, but like apparently if you get on her bad side, like she's the fucking devil. So like she's hip. The wool is not pulled under her over her eyes. Like, you know how sometimes when they get to hanging with one girl, like they just believe like everything, like they're under their spell. But like she seemed like she kind of sorting it out for herself to be like, nah, she be on some fuck shit sometimes. Like, I'm seeing this shit. Like, we cool, but like I see you, girl. I see what the fuck
Right.
you doing. And yeah, what else happened?
That's
Um,
it. Kenya ass is miserable. Kenya is miserable. I don't like her, and I've said every time we talk about this, I talk about how I'm watching the older seasons too, and like she's always been insufferable like
right.
this. She has like cute little lines and stuff,
Mm,
like don't check for me unless I send for you or whatever it is. Like
mm-hmm.
she's witty.
Right.
She can read,
Definitely.
but as a person,
Trash. And I
hate
think
it.
it's even worse now because she's going through so much fucked up shit in her personal life, like with the divorce and all this
I
shit.
give no
It's just like,
fucks.
I don't give a fuck either. But
All
it's
the
like
shit she talked about for everybody's.
she used to go in on niggas'
Thank you.
marriages and babies and all this other stuff, and now she's hypersensitive. Oh, Nene was talking about me when I was pregnant and how I looked, and oh, you talking about my marriage and my man, and like, like the little jokes they getting off
She
and
talked
stuff.
about Phaedra when Phaedra was pregnant. She stayed going in on Nene and how Nene needed plastic surgery. Like everything that she cries about, I'm literally watching her do in like
In other
seasons 5 through 7. And it's just like, I don't see it for her. Um, I don't see how she has any friends. And it's honestly making me look at Candy and Cynthia some kind of way
I don't
because
understand why Candy would be cool with her, because Candy seems like such a, out of them, she seems like a down to earth joint, like that
right.
could see through the bullshit. So the fact that she hangs with her so tough and don't really call her out on her bullshit more, I'm just like, Candy, you looking a little fake adjacent right now. Like, why you not check her? Maybe she checks her off camera. I don't know. But either way, I'm like, I don't like it. Like, and Cynthia always been fake, so she gonna like just follow behind whoever the fuck, because she never used to check Nene either, so like she not checking nobody.
Yeah, so now watching that back, I'm seeing it's like, so girl, you just went from Nene to Kenya. It's like
And follow right on under them.
she stands up a bit more for herself now than she did in the beginning, but it's just like ah, it just couldn't be me because the way that she be letting some of these girls talk to her, Cynthia, we would have
Child,
got to
look,
fighting. So
I be like, bitch, I am 50 at this point. Like, she's probably the oldest one in the group. I don't know how old Marlo is, but she's probably like the oldest or one of the
She's like
oldest?
52 this year,
Okay,
52,
so Marlo,
53. And then Kenya is turning 50 this year.
he is 50. I didn't know
Hmm.
she was okay. Child, I don't know, but I get it. She
I,
going through shit, but
Speaking of ages, though, do you think that they're trying to get younger girls? Because I noticed they got Drew, they got Toya. Now Shamia has a
it's
confessional
more.
part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because and they had the little aunties. What was they call them? The aunties and the
And the
what do they call
nieces.
themselves? Yeah, and the nieces, which was funny because then they used to have other joints where they was like the bigs and the smalls, like the real tall
Hmm.
ones that were hanging together. So they probably are like bringing Drew and all them on there. Yeah. They probably are because these old heifers eventually they gonna get old and tired. We've been seeing them for so many fucking years that we just like, all right, new pony, new show, or we gonna get off the ride because what else are you bringing? But yeah,
Right.
bringing the girl Toya and spiced it up. Drew, I'm still feeling her. She's cute, but she be rapping, bro. Yeah, she was rapping, but I don't know. I think that as a group, they not really fucking with her, which I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what she did besides talk a lot. And that first weave was a little bit, but I'm starting to like Portia more and more. But that bitch was late as fuck to that fucking ranch, bitch. Like I would have been when they were on the fucking hate ride and this bitch said GPS said I'll be there in an hour and 20 minutes. I'd have like, bitch, just stay home. Like, cause after this we about to go home. She literally drove all the way the fuck out there for like a 10-minute conversation
And
and
then
it was
was
like, all
gone.
right, well I gotta follow y'all back. Nigga, and drive back an hour and 20 something minutes. I would have like, oh no, don't ask me to go nowhere no more.
Honestly, I just figured that she showed up to get the check for showing up because
Yeah.
I could not think of any other reason why she would have done that. Because if I
Drove
would have found
all the
out
way
that
out
that
there.
was an hour and 10 minutes in the opposite direction, I'd have went home.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what?
It's a
Just tell
wrap.
me how it is. Like, and especially that by the time she got there, it was nighttime and no one else was there, and they was only literally just waiting around so she wouldn't be mad that she got there. And everybody was fucking gone. So it's just like, yeah, she was just collecting that check. But yeah, Kenya, blah.
Yeah.
Every episode you make me blah. You're on the Martell list for me. What else? I don't have any other. You don't watch Real Housewives of New Jersey, do you?
No.
Oh,
It's
that's getting
I
spicy.
watched a few episodes when I was at your house and it looked good, but it's too many seasons.
It
I'm
is
never
a
going back.
whole lot of seasons. Like New Jersey is actually my favorite over Atlanta. So like New Jersey's number one for me, and then Real Housewives of Atlanta is right after that. I was watching New Jersey and caught a commercial. It's one Salt Lake City. Never watched the episode, but I seen a commercial for the reunion, and I was like, hold on, maybe I
I
need to go back
told
and
you
watch
about
this.
that.
I was like, you said you told me about it?
Hmm.
Bruh, was I fucked up because I don't remember that shit. But bruh, the commercial I saw, I said, oh no, this look like it's some shit going on, nigga. You watched it?
I watched the whole season.
Is is it spicy like this fucking reunion is looking?
The reunions were spicier than the
The season.
episodes. I was so confused. It was a 3-part reunion. I was like, why the fuck is this joint getting a 3-part fucking reunion? Like
Mm,
it was, I don't know.
oh, but then I ain't gonna waste my time.
It was cool. I always look at it like it's their first season.
Right. Cause I was like, somebody messing with their fucking step grandfather. What the fuck is going on with this
Now
shit, nigga?
that is something that's happening, but they didn't talk about it enough. They didn't really flesh that out. Excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
this season. So it was like, but yeah, the black lady,
Uh-huh.
her so her grandmother married this man that was 20 years younger than her, and then
Mm-hmm.
when she died, that man married one of her granddaughters.
That is
But they didn't
true.
really talk about it. She just said like it was a part of like the grandmother's wishes that he do that.
She's a fucking lie.
I promise.
She is messing with her dead grandma's nigga. Oh, I can't. I can't.
But
That's
you know
it.
they from Utah where like polyamorous marriages, and
Oh
the
yeah, and they
Mormon
be
people.
having the Mormons that be having like the polygamy and all them sister
Right.
wives and shit.
So it's like on brand for that area, I guess,
Right.
for some
It's the
weird
norm.
shit to be popping
Some
up.
West
I don't know.
Virginia shit. No shame, y'all. If you from
Oh, my
West
mom would be
Virginia.
so upset if she heard you say that.
Oops, sorry, y'all.
My mom is from West Virginia.
Maybe she from the good part then.
No, she's not. Sorry,
So,
mom.
you got anything else?
I don't. I haven't been keeping up with anything as far as tea. I have no tea. I'm be honest with you.
I don't really have
I
no tea.
I did good with the TV though.
Yes, you definitely did. Um, yeah, I don't got no tea. Yeah, yeah,
So good, bad, and release. I'll start. Don't worry
yeah.
about it.
Okay, that's all right. I've been trash with this lately. Well, you got the
So,
deep breath on them.
I know that I have talked openly about my marriage on this podcast, and maybe I'm giving off something on Instagram. I don't know what it is. I literally deleted all of my pictures back in 2018. I deleted them again New Year's Eve. I have literally 4 pictures on there. I post in my stories. Most of the time, I'm posting just a picture of me, a picture of my daughter, or a song. I don't know what kind of energy I'm giving off, but I want to release the niggas that's in my DMs. Mostly because you guys are all fucking married or have a girlfriend. And I don't
What?
know why you're in my inbox giving me, sending me, why are you sending me a picture of yourself? We're on Instagram. I could
Right,
go to your page if I wanted to see you. You know what
for
I'm
sure.
saying? Or like, I just, I just have people that say things and I know that they're trying to gauge how I will respond to see if they could basically be on some fuck shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like 5 niggas right now, like right
Wow.
now that are actively always in my motherfucking inbox, always in there. And just like you post a picture and it's like, okay, you liked my picture. Thanks. But some of you bitches take it a step too far. And it bothers me because y'all know I'm married. And then it's like the very next day they'll post a picture of their wife or their girlfriend or something. And I want to be left the fuck alone. I don't. This one dude, he's now blocked. He sent me a dick pic.
Like
He
on
sent me a,
Instagram, not even Snapchat, like on Instagram.
he sent me an unsolicited dick pic. It was 10:30 a.m. It was not even a nice dick pic. You see, you didn't hear about it. I didn't even send it in the group chat with the ladies. Like, girl,
Right,
look what I got. It was
right.
like, so I was just like, I sent a question mark because I just didn't
Like,
understand.
what
Like,
the fuck is
maybe
happening? Maybe you sent it to the wrong person. Like, what's going on?
Mr. Sir told me, that lately I had been giving off vibes like I was unhappy or something like that. And so my whole thing was like, okay, I'm unhappy. Why the fuck would you think that you got the magic stick and that just simply sending me a picture of your penis will
It's gonna
brighten up my
brighten your
fucking
day.
day? What the fuck makes you think your dick is just that fucking great? Like, I don't understand. I have a nigga that's legitimately has propositioned me to get knocked down. If I was unhappy in my marriage, I don't understand why you would think that just your penis that I've never had, which is,
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, why would that solve my problems?
right,
If I have problems in my marriage, why would you assume that they're just sexually?
right.
They're sexual problems. Like, my nigga, if I'm
Exactly.
having marriage problems, it's probably a whole host
A
of
whole
things.
plethora of stuff that's contributing. Like,
And your dick is not going to solve them. Get out
right.
of my fucking inbox. Release yourself from my fucking
Exactly.
inbox. I'm not a side bitch. I'm not a hoe anymore. Even if I was, I'm choosy. And I'm like, I haven't chosen any of you guys. I haven't chosen you. I'm about to stop accepting male niggas. I really don't know what I'm putting on Instagram. I don't even show my
You
body
don't
half
even
the
be
time.
posting like that.
My
Like, that's the
nigga,
thing.
I'm mad insecure about my body. I'm like, y'all niggas don't understand that. I legit that meme where it has like the bear at the top and like it looks like a regular like stuffed animal, and then it shows you the next picture and it's like a big bitch at the bottom. Like, get out of my fucking inbox. So I'm releasing them. Um, the bad is just, I think that's the bad and the release, because I just want y'all to get the fuck out of my inbox. And the good is just, you know what the good is?
Mm.
Some years ago, I did have sex to feel good. Like, sex does release the chemicals in your brain and all that other good stuff. So, like, you know how some people, they smoke cigarettes or they drink or they do whatever they do to feel good when they're having a bad day? Me,
Mm-hmm.
I would call up some dick. I'm trying to fuck. We would fuck. The end. I'm just not there anymore. Like, it's just not enough. It's not enough for me to just have sex and just my mood change.
Get better, right?
I don't know if that's good actually. I guess it's good for my husband.
He like, thank you, Lord. She's wearing me out, y'all.
That's all I have though.
Um, let's see. My, I'll say start with the bad. Bad release. I guess it would be about the same. Um, Parenting is hard, and it's blowing me. Like, parenting used to be smooth sailing for me because I felt like I had my kids are still lit, but it was just easy. Like, it was a couple of things like, the staying up at night and like sicknesses and blah blah blah. Like, but for the most part, it has been enjoyable being a mom. I don't know what's happening to my darling first child. We already know the second child.
Is an angel, little saint.
I mean, the devil was also an angel, but what I'm saying is the first child has gotten to this age where there's a tone in the voice that wasn't always there.
Tell
And
me
I'm ready
more.
to knock her through a wall. That's where I'm at with it. Um, it's just sass that doesn't need to be there. It isn't what she's saying, it's how she's saying it. Where it's like, hey, can you go? I don't know, I'm making an example. Hey, can you go put this trash in the room? Kylie, Kylie, can you go put the trash in the room? I am. I'm looking around because apparently there's another bitch in this house talking to. Just like, and that might not sound crazy to some of y'all, but imagine it. A whole bunch of little stuff, upon stuff. And I fucking Kirk, bro. I was like, yo, stop fucking talking to me like I'm some punk ass bitch. I keep giving you fucking time after time after time, and I'm letting you skate with this shit because I know deep down you're a good kid. But maybe you think me giving you passes means that there's no repercussions and that I'm a punk bitch and I won't fuck you up. Like, because I just don't understand why in your head you thinking it's okay to talk to me like this. There's this whole meltdown and she's crying because sis doesn't like confrontation. She's not used to getting in trouble. So this is foreign to her. There is so much aggression and anger going towards her. And this whole thing, I have a talk with my husband. What am I doing wrong? Because maybe I'm a bad parent. What the fuck am I doing wrong? How am I approaching this that like we have gotten here, that our relationship is here? And she's 8. And he's like, well, you know how she is. She's real sensitive and like blah, blah. So maybe like, it's going to take a little bit more patience to talk to her more calmly and do blah, blah, and just be more patient with her. All right. For you, I will. So the past couple weeks, I have been trying to be mindful of how I talk to her. I have been doing a lot of breathing because there's times where I want to spaz, but I have to breathe and I use my words. And I'm just like, hey, not sure why I'm getting that energy. Can you bring it down and just do what I asked you to do? It's not that serious. There has been no change in this chick's tone, behavior, or anything that I've asked her to do. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm being extra nice and I'm doing all this extra shit. My parents didn't do this shit. My parents wasn't sitting here thinking about, you know what? Dice really wouldn't fucking like if we talked to her this way, or we wouldn't be mindful of how this might make her feel if we uh reprimanded her like this. Like, let's think about how we should approach this. My parents gave no fucks. Depending on my age, I either beat
None
my
of our
ass or took
parents gave a
everything.
fuck.
Right. They either beat our ass or took everything from me until I got my fucking act together and I was on punishment for a while. I'm just like, yo, fuck your feelings. Like, I literally said that. I was like, fuck your feelings. When you do something bad, I can't sit up. Like, why do my feelings not matter? Why do I have to go above and beyond to cater to your feelings? Is it because I'm a mommy and mommies don't have feelings? Like, because at this point I feel disrespected, so my feelings are hurt. So what are you going to do about my feelings? Because I've been doing a lot to tiptoe around your feelings, and I'm done with it. I'm grown. I am fucking grown. I had to come to the realization I'm the fucking mother here. Why am I fucking tiptoeing around people that are in one digit ages? Like, I don't, what the fuck is going on? So it's just been a big conflict with me because it's stressing me out, because I've always wanted to have healthy relationships with my kids. And I feel like it's going real unhealthy right now. And I don't want to cause my kids to have counseling, but I feel like sometimes the way that I talk to them, especially the sensitive ones, that maybe it's affecting her, but I don't know how to get through to this chick. So I want to release whatever the fuck is going on with her in her 8-year-old life, which I don't know what the fuck an 8-year-old could be going through during quarantine and she barely leaves the house. But I want to
She
release
might be tired of being in the house too. She might be
it.
tired of being in the house, tired of being around. You, I think that kids are going through their own version of being stir crazy.
Yeah, and not being able to see their friends and go out and socialize, which I get, but like, bitch, why are you taking out on me? What have I done to you?
Because you're your close proximity. That's a human thing. We usually spaz out on the people that are closest to us, especially if we can't communicate what's really going on. I'm just, I don't
Right.
know if that's what's going on. I'm just
I've been
saying.
looking in the mirror like, bitch, you're a bad mom. You need to figure this the fuck out, because I have not been able to figure the fuck out what I'm doing wrong. Like I said, I tried a different approach in everything because I'm like, maybe, what works for one kid doesn't work for another. Let me just change my approach. And that has not changed at all. Like, I mean, I'm seeing like sneaky stuff on the horizon where she's doing stuff and trying to be slick about it. Then when I call her out about it, there's no accountability. It's the I don't know, which boils my blood, because you know how to articulate. So explain it to me. It just, I'm going to be rambling about this forever because I definitely could talk. This could be a whole podcast. But yeah,
Let's
I
talk
just want
about
to,
it next podcast because I want to jump in there, but we are already at 2 hours and
right.
some odd minutes.
Well, we can do it next time then, because like, yes, this is like driving me up a wall. So that's the bad. And I just want to release like whatever the fuck energy I'm exuding and she's receiving, or whatever the fuck is going on. I need to release that shit. Um, good. Uh, hmm, that sounds really bad. I don't know what's good. I don't know. It's been a lot of stress lately. I don't have COVID. Yay. I don't know.
No, that's good. We are at this weekend will be a year since things shut down.
Originally shut down. Like,
Yeah. So
that's
if you made it this far and you didn't get COVID, goddamn kudos to you, because I'm out here knowing niggas that had it twice.
right.
Okay, that's how bad it is now. Motherfuckers that had it before are
Repeat
getting it again.
offenders out here. And it's scary as fuck because now they got new strains and we don't know how the fuck that's gonna take niggas out or affect niggas. So we see that people are still catching it. Like, as much as I'm like, yo, the numbers are coming down and maybe it's not that serious, I can put my toe out. Like, I don't
I'm
know.
still
I'm just
going
gonna
outside. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm still going.
just come to my house. You can come here. I got Clorox wipes and Lysol.
I'm going
Thanks.
somewhere.
Yeah. Look, we thank y'all for tuning in. I'm looking real tired. I'm like, look, I was tired from the rip, so I don't know if y'all caught them vibes off the rip, but been tired as soon as we start. But we thank y'all for tuning in. Please come on Clubhouse. Like, how many times do I have to cuss y'all out, loves? God damn. Like, we be having some good conversations. Y'all always be talking about, oh man, like I be talking to the daggone radio. I be wanting to join in. Whoop de whoop. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if you did, you come on Clubhouse. I told you we had extra invites. So if you wasn't on there, if you don't have Apple and that's your issue, my apologies to you. But if
I
you
was about to
do,
say maybe these people are all Android users.
child,
I
blessed
don't
be
know.
thy name. But for those who do have Apple products, stop playing with me and fucking get on Clubhouse and come on there on. It's usually Wednesdays, but we post on our social media at the Chatty Patties when we're going to be on there. If you're following us, you're going to get it in the IG stories and on the post. So make sure you tell a friend to be listening to these podcasts as well as on the Clubhouse, because if you got a Droid, I'm sure you got friends that got Apple. Let them know and they will tell you what the fuck we talked about. But anyway, we thank y'all for tuning in and look at us being consistent out this bitch. Doot, doot, doot. Look at us growing and stuff.
Yes.
But and we'll chat with y'all next time. Bye,
Uh,
loves.